This is a live Channels television event.
We are waiting for now. Yes, we need state
I don't know. Go and find out now.
I called
I'll get make a name. I don't know who they call. But the woman will say me come. I don't know who they call.
the woman.
They are calling again now. Go and meet again. Go and meet him. Victor. Go and get my protocol list. The minister's come. Go and get me. leader. Where's Adams? Now we take the national anthem. Your Excellency, the special guest of honor at this event, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Youth Development in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Jamila Bill Ibrahim, the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribado, ably represented by Major General P.P. Mala, Director of Defense Affairs, Office of the National Security Advisor. Other members of the Federal Executive Council that are here, particularly the representative of Honorable Minister of Information, the special guest, the keynote speaker, our own Professor Lanre Fagbo, the former Vice Chancellor, Lagos State University. The Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs that are here. other heads of security agencies that are here present. Let me welcome to this event the Chairman, Police Service Commission, DIG Hashimu Salio Arugongo MNI. They are present. Of course, the chief hosts are Inspector General Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbeto Kompegde, NPA. Deputy Inspectors General Police and other members of the force management team that are here. Very senior officers from the armed forces, the Nigerian Police Force, and other security agencies in the Federal Republic of Nigeria that are here. I want to welcome to this place Mr. Saud Mohammed, Executive Secretary, Police Trust Fund. Then I want to welcome to this event the President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Eliaku, Fellow NIPR, and of course, the President, Nigerian Union of Journalists, my own brother, Christopher Isigoso. I want to welcome the National Chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, Mogaji Ibrahim Olaniyan. I want to welcome to this event the National President, Akomoran, that is the Association of all Okada Riders in Nigeria, Dr. Samsudeen Akpelogun. Yes, to the President of Student Engagement and former NANS President, my brother, Monday Ashefo. All youth leaders that are here, we are still coming back one by one to recognize you. And of course, officers of the police that fall within the age bracket of the youth that the IGP has gathered together here today. My own people, the vibrant media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to, on behalf of the Inspector General Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbeto Kompegde, hold the Nigeria Police Medal, and the entire police family, today's event today. If I'm not making any mistake, with the best of my knowledge, this is the first time the police will be putting this together, particularly on the 12th of August every year to commemorate the UN International Youth Day. Can we please appreciate the Nigeria Police Force? I always say my Inspector General of Police is a man of God. I think Holy Spirit leads him in all truths. This is the right time to have this summit in Nigeria at this particular moment. History has always been made. As we are having this today, it has been said that coming together is the beginning, meeting together is progress, and working together is achievement. We are here today to deliberate, to judge, to actually articulate some of the issues bothering our national security. Let me tell you, the theme for this summit is enhancing the Nigerian youth's value for national security intelligence. You cannot talk of good governance without security. You cannot talk of development without security. There's apparently nothing you can do without security. And that is why the Nigeria Police Force, the lead security agency in terms of internal security of this country, under the amiable leadership of the Inspectorate General of Police, the one I call Cicero over time, the one who is a security expert. I'm sure many of you know that the IGP bagged his PhD in peace and security studies. The right pair in the right hole of policing the Federal Republic of Nigeria at this moment. It is important for us to note again that this program is going to be a start for having many of such for our youths and, of course, the relevant sectors in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to support the police in making sure we have that more secure environment for national development, particularly quick economic recovery, social integration, and development in all areas. Your Excellency, very senior officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I would like to invite to the microphone the chief host, the man who has put us together here to have this deliberation, particularly to engage the teeming Nigerian youth, to have proper understanding, to have youth inclusivity and perfect security networking in Nigeria. Join me as I invite to the microphone the 22nd Indigenous Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM. The IGP, sir.
Thank you, Police Band. Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Dr. Jamila Beo Ibrahim, the representative of the National Security Advisor, Major General P.P. Mala, Director of Defense Affairs, Office of the National Security Advisor, Senator Abdulhamid Madori, Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Maki Yalema, Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, Representative of the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Mr. James Sule, OON, Honorable Minister of Sports, Senator John Owen, representatives of other members of the Federal Executive Council who are here present, the Chairman, Police Service Commission, DIG Hashimu Arugungu, retired, MPM, MNI, the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, the representative of service chiefs, the representative of DGDSS, other heads of various paramilitary organizations and parastatals here present, Deputy Inspectors General of Police and members of the Force Management Team, the representative of Chairman EFCC, our distinguished invited guests, the vibrant Nigerian press, ladies and gentlemen. I am quite excited to stand before you today to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, the Nigerian Police Youth Summit 2024, organized in collaboration with UNESCO to commemorate the United Nations International Youth Day. This Global Day of Observance provides a vital platform to recognize, celebrate, and harness the incredible strength, boundless energy, resilience, creativity, and aspirations of our youth, who are instrumental in shaping the future of our nation. Each year, on August 12, the world unites to celebrate International Youth Day, recognizing the potential of young people and the crucial role they play in addressing global challenges. This day, designated by United Nations General Assembly in 1999 through Resolution 54-120, stems from the recommendation of the World Conference of Ministers responsible for youth, emphasizing the significance of youth involvement in shaping a better world. International Youth Day is far more than a celebration. It's a powerful reminder of the critical role young people play in our societies and the global community. This day underscores the importance of empowering youth, amplifying their voices, and ensuring their contributions are acknowledged and nurtured. It is a celebration of the transformative power of young people in driving positive change and shaping a brighter future. The theme for this year, Enhancing Nigerian Youth Value for National Security Intelligence, is both timely and relevant. It serves as a reminder that the strength and future of our nation rests in the hands of our youth. Their role is pivotal in driving social change, redesigning our security architecture, and advancing sustainable development. Let us harness the energy, creativity, and idealism of our youth to build a safer, more secure and prosperous future for all. I am proud to acknowledge the vital role of our youth. I am proud to acknowledge the vital role our youth play in shaping our nation's future. The Nigerian Police Force is committed to creating a secure environment that empowers our youth to realize their full potential. Our involvement in this summit highlights our belief that young people are indispensable partners in achieving national security and sustainable development. This year's theme aligns seamlessly with our strategic objectives, emphasizing the youth's crucial role in safeguarding our nation. Their contributions extend beyond mere participation in security initiatives. They embody the values of patriotism, volunteerism, and individual potential that fortify the social fabric of our communities. We are dedicated to supporting and empowering our youth as active agents of change and leaders in building a safer, more prosperous Nigeria. We remain unwavering in our commitment to the safety, security, and well-being of our youth. We are dedicated to protecting their rights, promoting their welfare, and providing opportunities for their growth and development. Today's summit serves as a critical platform for dialogue, education, and collaboration between the police and the Nigerian youth. It offers a unique opportunity to bridge the gap, foster trust, and work together towards a more secure Nigeria in line with the 2024 theme. The insights and ideas that will emerge from this summit will undoubtedly contribute significantly to our collective efforts in enhancing national security intelligence. As we gather here today, we are reminded of the importance of empowering our youth, the driving force behind every positive change worldwide. They are the innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders of tomorrow. They will shape our nation's future and create a better world for all. We must therefore create opportunities for them to grow, learn, and thrive. We must listen to their voices, concerns, and ideas. We must support them in their pursuit of excellence and their quest for a better future. The Nigerian Police Force is committed to ensuring that our youth are safe, secure, and supported. We are dedicated to protecting their rights, promoting their welfare, and providing opportunities for their growth and development. To the youth of Nigeria, I say, you are the heartbeat of our nation, you are the future and the hope of our tomorrow. Do not fear to dream big, to aim high, and to work diligently. Your energy, creativity, and resilience are unparalleled. The future of our nation hinges on your ability to harness these qualities for greater good. As you participate in this summit, I urge you to engage with an open mind and a steadfast commitment to making a difference. The Nigerian Police Force views you as vital stakeholders in our mission to ensure the safety, security, and well-being of all Nigerians. We are all here to listen, learn, and support you as you navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead. Your ideas, innovations, and active participation are not only welcomed, but essential. We need your voice, your leadership, and your partnership. We also need you to embrace patriotism and fulfill your responsibilities to our nation. At this critical junction in our history, the emphasis on duty and responsibility is paramount in transforming the current narrative of rights without responsibilities. Together, we can build a nation where peace and security are the foundation of our progress and where every citizen is respected, honored, and valued. At this point, I wish to extend my deepest gratitude to our esteemed partners and supporters who have made this event possible. Our heartfelt thanks go to UNESCO. Our heartfelt thanks go to UNESCO Ref, Clean Foundation, ASR Africa, MKH Properties Limited, and the National President of the National Youth Coalition. Your dedication to youth empowerment and national development is profoundly appreciated. I also wish to acknowledge and thank all the other organizations and individuals who have contributed to making today a success. Your support has not only enriched this event, but has also strengthened our collective resolve to create a safer and more prosperous Nigeria. Let us remain steadfast in our commitment to our youth. Together, we must pledge to support, empower, and create a brighter future for all. As we embark on today's discussions and activities, I urge you to seize every opportunity with a sense of purpose and dedication to national development. The task before us is indeed significant, but I am confident that with the collective strength, creativity, and enthusiasm of our youth, coupled with the support of our partners, we will rise up to the challenge and make a meaningful impact. Let us work together to harness the power of our youth and shape a brighter future for our nation. In conclusion, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Your leadership and unwavering commitment to empowering young people are truly commendable. May God continue to bless and guide you as you lead our great nation. Thank you all for your presence. May this summit be a milestone on the path to a more secure, prosperous, and united Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I think we can do better for the Inspector General of Police. Let us appreciate the IGP once again. When I was a younger officer, I used to say, "You've heard from the horse's mouth." Until a day, a commissioner of police called me, "Muyiwa, are you referring to me as a horse?" Then I changed my style. So since then, I've been saying, "You've heard from that person," then I will mention the name. So I think you've heard directly from the Inspector General of Police. Can we please appreciate the IGP once again? Kofi Annan once said, "Young people are not just the future, they are the present." That's the voice of the former UN Secretary General. Young people are not just the future, they are the present. And for you to be a good leader, a productive country, you must look back, evaluate your past, understand your history, know your present position so that you can project into the future. In simple science, there's a concept called principle of uniformitarianism. For students of geology, you understand better that you must always study the past to know the present and for you to be able to project into the future. Our youth are not just the future, they are the present. So if you're a youth in this house, please appreciate yourself. A young man of the greatest Nigerian youth. Of the greatest Nigerian youth. Of the greatest Baba. Of the greatest Gogo. Of the greatest Golo Golo. I know many will be surprised that I'm doing this. I was once a student union leader. And when I was young, very funny story. We used to pursue the police. I attended University of Ibadan. And the first operation I led in Shagamu, the students of the Kenneth campus of the Ogun State School of Health, Technology or whatever, came to protest in Shagamu. So they asked me to go and talk to them. They started stoning me. The officers behind, they said, okay, I said, no. Young officer, 1 star. I said, no, na nemesis. I don't do them before. I don't know, say, na my turn. Now they just told me, I better don't touch them. If they had touched me at that time, I won't be here today to command you. That is history for you. The Inspector General, please, I know the IGP is very happy to have this gathering today. As a father, a man of God, many don't know IGP is a pastor. Apart from that, an academician who has been in academic field for a very long time. For him to have got this PhD, you know what it is. I always tell somebody that even if you don't go to class, for you to have your thesis done, to do your presentation and verbal and make sure you are qualified to have your PhD, it is not a tea-party thing. You need to be a very cerebral person, a complete Homo sapien before you can be a PhD holder. Can we please appreciate the Inspector General of Police for putting this together once again? On that note, I want to invite today's place one of our partners who is representing the UNESCO here today to tell us the importance of this day, the UN International Youth Day. I call up Prince Abdul Salam Ladigbolu, UNESCO Rev President in Nigeria, to come and please address us. Can we please appreciate him as he steps forward? You can see the African in him. The attire is excellent. Prince, you're welcome. Sure. Okay. Okay.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Ahmed Bola Adekunle Tinubu, GCFR, Commander of Chief of the Armed Forces, ably represented by Honorable Minister Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, representative of the National Security Advisor, Chairman Senate Committee on Police, the Chairman Committee of Police, House of Representative, representative of the Police Affairs, Honorable Minister of Sport, representative of the Federal Executive Council, representative of Service Commissions, representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, DGDSS, the Chief Host, the Inspector General of Police, and the Force Management Team, representative of the EFCC, distinguished medias, great Nigerian youth, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, and thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a very long time now, as well as those who are new to the Progressive National Mission for Youth Advancement and a Peaceful Society. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously help us make this event come together to become a success, most especially our great mathematician, a purpose-driven person, dedicated, committed, in person of the 22nd Inspector General of Police, Dr. Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, and his formidable management team. We could not have done this without you. It's an honor to be here to celebrate this year's Nigerian Youth Police Summit in collaboration with UNESCO Read and End Federation to join the rest of the world to commemorate the 2024 United Nations International Youth Day celebration with the theme, Enhancing the Nigerian Youth Values for National Security Intelligence. The mission is in fortress with the vision and commitment of the Nigerian Inspector General of Police towards a more secured country. And we are thankful for working with us on this strategic task. As we commemorate the International Youth Day, with a focus on enhancing youth value for national security intelligence, this event is a testament to our commitment to recognize the pivotal role of young people plays in shaping the future of our nation. The team underscored the urgent need for our youth to be more involved in national security matters, given their unique position in the society. Today's event serves as a dual purpose. First, it aims to celebrate the energy, creativity, potentials of all Nigerian youth. Second, it seeks to inspire and empower them to see themselves as essential agents to change the realm of national security. The importance of this cannot be overemphasized in an era where threats to national security are increasingly complex and multifaceted. Involving the youth is not just beneficial, it is very essential. This is because the intergenerational connectivity of a nation's prosperity depends on the keener revelation of the society's soul, which is the youth. And let us all know that discouraging the youth is simultaneously destroying the nation's prosperity. Our focus today is on youth recognizing their role as change agents. In a rapidly evolving world, it is imperative that our young people understand their potentials to influence and drive positive change. They are the ones who can bridge the gap between traditional and modern methods, innovative approaches to national security because of their familiarity with technology. Social media and contemporary communication tools position them as an invaluable asset in the fight against threats to our beloved country. By collaborating with the security agency, they can provide fresh perspectives and solutions that are both effective and forward-thinking. This will strategically lead to more effective community policing, improve intelligence gathering, and enhance crisis response. Youth can act as the eyes and ears of their community, identifying potential threats and working with authorities to neutralize them. Valuing the youth is not just a matter of appreciating their potentials. It is a strategic imperative. Young people bring innovations, adaptability, and a fresh perspective that are crucial in addressing contemporary challenges. They are more adept at using technology, which is increasingly important in security and intelligence work today. Furthermore, involving youth in intelligence gathering will foster a sense of ownership and responsibility towards their country, thereby promoting civic engagement and national unity. Greatest Nigerian youth, as we celebrate you today, please also note that it is time to start easing out the tension and turn on a sound that has good frequency. It is good to have political opinions, but more appropriate and practical when you listen to what others think. I urge you to work on a purposeful unity while mending the gaps to fast-track the transformation of our country, Nigeria, by continuously building your capacity through various globally informed programs and activities that align with our nation's priority and aspiration. Finally, be rest assured that we all love you all, and I personally do so much. Although I may not be able to promise you to love you all for the rest of your life, but at least for the rest of mine. Once again, congratulations and happy International Youth Day celebration. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigerians. Thank you.
Can we please appreciate him once again? This is one of our youth we have in Nigeria, representing us across the world in the United Nations and in all spheres. Prince Absalam Oladigbolu, thank you so much for your support. The former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon once said empowerment of young people is a necessary condition for achieving sustainable development. Many people have spoken on youth empowerment and involvement in governance. If at all you want to have a perfect governance in any nation, youth inclusivity is very, very key. It's in qua non to having whatever governance development we think we can have in our dear country. And that is why today we are putting this together to make sure we deliberate with our youth. And of course, very soon, we're going to have our keynote speaker. We're going to have discussions. The youth are going to engage the IGP. Don't worry. The IGP is very ready for you and loaded to attend to some of your questions and intervention. Your Excellencies, let me quickly welcome once again the members of the National Youth Service Corps that are here. There are very many in the house. Gentlemen, corps members, you are welcome. In fact, the DG has been so kind enough to send the cultural troupe of the NYC to come and perform here today. Can we please appreciate the NYC? That's a great platform the Nigerian government has put together to expose our youths to multicultural diversities in Nigeria. I'm from Osun State. I did my national service in Anambra. When I was going, the people from Osun State said in Anambra that they may kill me. I said no, I will remain in Anambra. The then Minister of Interior, late SM Afolabi, gave me a very strong letter to give to my director, MS Medala, that time. I met the woman and I said, Madam, just give me a good posting. I want to remain in Anambra. I'm sure they will not eat me and they will not kill me. Here I am today. Anambra State is my alma mater. Kotse, NYC. Can we please appreciate the Nigerian government for putting NYC together once again? Thank you so much. I want to welcome here the National President Nigerian Youth Organization, Comrade Duke Alamboye. And of course, I want to welcome the President National Youth Stakeholders Forum, Ambassador Muhammad Hawa Musa. And of course, once again, the SSA to the President of Students Engagement, the former NANS President. As I speak with you, is having a function in Benue State today for students. But it's here, you want to have the parts to partake in this event before he moves to Makurdi to attend to other activities. But he said he must be here. Honorable Sunday Ashefo, you are welcome once again. I want to welcome the Peace Corps Association. All of them, they are on uniform, they are here. On behalf of the IGP, we welcome you. I want to welcome Nigerian Royal Ambassadors. They are all in the house. Anywhere you have, wave your hands. Let us know you are in the house. God bless you. We want to welcome Keynote Initiative of Nigeria. Wave your hand, you're welcome. God bless you. We want to welcome Royal Rangers of Nigeria. Wherever you are, wave your hands. Let's see you. Thank you. God bless you. The man of war. Where are they? They are here in the building. God bless you. You are welcome. Man of order and discipline. Anywhere they are, you are welcome. God bless you. And of course, officially, we want to welcome our special guest of honor, the father of our dear country, President Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, GCFR. And of course, we want to welcome again the National Security Advisor, the man who coordinates all our security affairs in this country, one of us and the police, Malam Nuhu Libadu, MNI, every represented by Major General PP Mala. Major General PP Mala has always been part of us. He's always at any event. It's only our dinners that has not been attending. But one day, I'm going to abduct you to attend our dinner. Thank you. God bless you. As welcome, sir. Then we want to welcome the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, His Excellency Senator Ibrahim Gendam, CON, who is ably represented by our new Tier Robber Permanent Secretary. He just reported not up to 2 or a week ago, Mr. James Sule, OON. We want to welcome the Honorable Minister of Youth. You are wearing more than 8 caps. You are representing the President, and I think I can say it without missing words. You are representing all other ministers that have been invited to this place, but I know they are at the villa for the Federal Executive Council meeting. So there was special guest of honor, our mother, our good sister. She's wearing almost 9 caps here today. We have made the caps so light, not heavy for you, I'm sure. You are up to the stars. God bless you. Can you please appreciate the morning in the house? God bless you. I want to welcome the Chief of Army Staff, our own Oga, Major Lieutenant General Tawhid Lagbaja, ably represented here by Major General FS Etim, Director Lessons Learned Army. You are welcome, sir. And I want to welcome the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal H.B. Abubakar, who is ably represented by Air Commodore Eli Nanso. God bless you, sir. We want to welcome the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. He is ably represented here by Director of Veteran Affairs of the Navy Headquarters, Rear Admiral M.Y. Dairu. You are all welcome. God bless you. I want to welcome again officially to this place the Chairman, Police Service Commission. This Oga DIG retired Ashimo Saliu Adugungu MNI was my Commissioner of Police when I was PRO Ogun State 2009. The DIG, very nice man. He taught me how to read and how to be meticulous. He always call you. Have you read this book? Geoffrey Chaucer. Have you read that book? Go and read it. Anywhere we go, he will always stop at the bookstand to buy at least a book. Can we please appreciate the Chairman Police Service Commission, our own Oga DIG, Ashimo Saliu Adugungu. God bless you. I want to welcome again the man who has been given the assignment to source for fund to support the Nigerian police force. And I think I need to appreciate Mr. President for putting very young brains and hands in engaging in certain activities in this country. Mr. Mohammed Femi Sheidu. God bless you. Chairman, sorry, Executive Secretary, Nigerian Police Trust Fund. You are welcome. I want to welcome the Executive Secretary, Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, Dr. Yemisi Bangboshe is in the building. God bless you. All the way from Abeokuta. I contacted him yesterday. He rushed down this morning. All of them here caught up with the first flight to come and attend this event. God bless you, sir. And I want to welcome once again the NUJ President, Chris Isigoso. God bless you. My President, NIPR President, Izzy himself, Dr. Ike. God bless all of you. I want to welcome the Deputy Inspectors General of Police and members of the Force Management Team that are here. You are all welcome. And very senior officers. Particularly, I want to appreciate the CPFCT, who has deployed all his men moving up and down 24 hours to make sure we enjoy this place today. Thank you, and God bless you. I want to welcome all our youth leaders that are here, and I'm proud that we have all of you. This place is full, and I'm impressed. Greatest Nigerian youth, God bless all of you. I'm not going to do this assignment here. You go to anchor this program. I have some of my friends in the building, MCs and stand-up comedians, Bob and Shortcut. Can you please come forward? Let us see you and take up the next item on this agenda. You're coming to this place. Come like this. Okay. No? They'll be like Akin and Popo where they see for moving. Sure. This boy is there. Come, this one is a police event too. All your material, court police material. No, if you use police material, see we sit down.
No be even police with a fear. The last event where we talk about police handles give army. So
now me they fear now.
Yes. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please once again give yourself a resounding round of applause.
All right. It's the Nigerian Police Force Youth Summit 2024. My name is Shortcuts, and the young man by my side is MC Bob. Our duty this afternoon is to, add life to this event. So just before we kick off our session officially, can we look at the person sitting by our left and right and tell the person, I am happy to see you. We are youths, we are young people. Can we make it louder? Say, my neighbor, my special neighbor, can I pray for you? Before the end of this year, I go make money pass you. See, IG, they follow talk. So, which money they find again? Your Excellencies, it's a wonderful event, and I'm happy that this is happening at this time. It is important that the security agencies come together with the Nigerian youth to discuss and foster the way forward. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Nigerian police for the tremendous job they did safeguarding the nation during the protests. Please, can we put our hands together for them? Thank you so much.
Shortcut.
Yes.
If not for anything, we need to appreciate them for the past protests, for making sure that Nigeria is peaceful.
Yes.
Once again, for Nigerian Police Force, can we give them a resounding round of applause?
Yeah. And we must appreciate the IG. Sir, this is the second time you're calling us and we are here. And I know it's because of me, not my brother.
Hey. What do you mean?
When the president wanted to select an IG, what they look out for is the body structure. An IG must be slim. Hello? An IG must not have hair on their head to think well. If you look at my friend here, you will notice that this is how a DPO looks.
So what do you mean?
All the DPO here na joke.
And we can say our friend the commissioner of
gallant commissioner of police.
Yes, gallant commissioner of police.
FCT.
Boss, thank you so much. And sir, I must tell you, just last week the men you sent to Kubwa.
The set of officers you sent to Kubwa, very amazing.
They are very hardworking.
Kubwa is safe now. I don't know if you sent those particular one. Please clap. Kubwa is safe. The officers that are in Kubwa, they specialize in slap.
No, this is not a joking. In short, they caught a thief. Just last week, they caught a thief and they slapped the thief. The thief was confessing what he did not do.
As they slapped the thief, why? He said, "I thief the motor." They said, "No, na small gen we define."
He said, "I thief the small gen put for the motor." Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
We are here to invite the keynote speaker. Now, I would like us all to understand that the next phase of this event will demand that we interact one-on-one with the keynote speaker and as well the security agencies, talking about all the youth organizations and representatives here. So quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have too much time. We'd like to go straight to this introduction.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the keynote speaker for this event is the former VC Lagos State University. Help me make welcome Professor Olariwaju Fagbon. Please a round of applause for him as he comes on stage.
Greatest Nigerian students. I know that's not how we respond to ourselves now. Don't worry about the police or me, I'm from the campus. Greatest Nigerian students. Greatest Gbogbo. Greatest Gbagba. Kulu, Kulu. Today is our day. And we are here to celebrate ourselves. I'll be very careful with the protocols so that I don't mix things up. I will be standing on the existing protocols, but I will say, Your Excellencies, I will recognize the Honorable Minister of Youth and Development because you're also representing Mr. President, and also through you greeting all the ministers who are handling the great affairs of this great nation. I will recognize the IG, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun, leaders of Nigerian youth and great Nigerian roots, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. Let me thank the IG for finding me worthy and also the police leadership to come in this morning to give the keynote address. The theme, Enhancing Nigerian Youth Value for National Security. This event is coming at a very sensitive period. And why do I say that? We've just had a riot that in some places resulted in violence and mayhem. Lives were lost. Not only that, individuals suffered economic losses. And that transits also to the fact that the nation suffered losses. So it calls for a time for sober reflection in terms of the affairs of this nation. I will share a very personal story about engagement. Because when I look at what the police, what they have done inviting us to this event, I will say the IG is very bold. The police leadership, they are very bold. To be doing this at this time. Why? They are in the eyes of the storm. And people are raising issues with them. But what is the significance of this in organizing this? What the IG and the leadership of the police, what they are saying is, we know we are not perfect. We understand best practices. We want to have a conversation with everybody so that we can continue to do it better. And I'm glad the two individuals who came forward a few moments ago, they said it that in quite a number of areas during this last riot, the police were exemplary in the way they carried out their activities. We have challenges in some other places. They are not denying it. But they are saying, we want to have this conversation so that we can do it better. What is that story that I want to share? When I was appointed Vice Chancellor, Lagos State University, I inherited a university that was deeply fractured. And some people christened the university, one week, one trouble. I do recall then that the IG, then, he called me, Dr. Egbetokun, he called me, and he told me two things that resonated with me all through my tenure. He said, Lanre, don't allow them to hijack the youth, the students' population from you. If they hijack them, there will be issues. The second one he told me, leverage on intelligence. Today, I am giving you the same advice. Don't allow the Nigerian youth to be hijacked. Leverage on intelligence. Those were the capsules you gave me, and they worked. They are your capsules. One of the things we have to recognize, when that protest was brewing and when it eventually happened, there were two forces in play. There were those with genuine grievances who wanted the nation to listen to them. And there were those who had mischievous purposes, who wanted to use it for some other agenda. And that is why this kind of conversation is very important, such that from time to time, I tell people then that I usually have breakfast meeting with all the students. Why? I tell them, even if we have nothing to discuss, we'll talk about Chelsea and Arsenal. At the end of the day, conversations like this with the Nigerian youth is what will not allow the Nigerian youth to be hijacked from managing and working with government to run this great nation. I'm not going to go into why we are having this event, the Youth Day, because when the IG was speaking, he talked about it. Also, when my dear brother, Mr. Ladigbolu was talking, Prince Ladigbolu was talking, he also emphasized the importance of the Youth Day. So I will not go into that. But what is critical is to say that the population of young people is growing. We have about 8.2 billion people globally. Out of the 8.2 billion people, about 1.8 constitutes the youth. When you look at it at the global level, you begin to think, well, there's so much of adults and not many of youths. But when you come down to Africa and come down to Nigeria, you see a different ball game entirely. And what do I mean by that? The United Nations defined youth as between ages 15 and 24. USAID defines it as between ages 10 and 19. 10 and 29. African Youth Charter defines it as between ages 18 to 29. Then, Nigeria's youth policy defines it as between ages 18 to 29. When you look at the population of Africa, you see that it's about 1.5. Out of that 1.5, 1.1 constitute the youth when you use these figures. When you come down to Nigeria, you see that the population of Nigeria is around 229 million by UN estimates. Out of that, if we use the calculation of 60% constituting the youth, you will find that over 137 million out of 222 constitute the youth population. If you decide to use the 70% calculation, that 70% constitute the youth, you will see that over 160 million constitute the youth out of 220-something million. That shows you the strength that we have in the youth population. And that is why what I have done is to term my own paper. I said, Nigeria's untapped talent pool. Nigeria's untapped talent pool. Building a meaningful national security partnership with the Nigerian youth. We need to build a meaningful security partnership with Nigerian youth if we want to benefit from them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what are the paradigm shifts that we have when we talk about national security? Hitherto, our security agencies, they were confronted with visible threats. And what are those visible threats? The threats that you can see in terms of crimes committed on a daily basis. You talk about rape, you talk about assault, you talk about people being attacked that you can see. But the dimension of it has changed. Today, when we talk about security threats, you are looking at hacking, misinformation, espionage, digital warfare, cybersecurity issues, AI-driven threats. These are things that you cannot easily come to terms with because you cannot see them and they are happening and we must be able to meet them. The recent challenges that they had in the UK, it was premised on misinformation. Even the riots that we had in Nigeria, if you go back to the kind of things that we saw on the social media, you will see so much of misinformation, so much of negative narratives that were being driven by mischievous people to achieve. So we are not saying that we do not have challenges, but we are saying we can come together to manage these challenges without us allowing our nation to go into dislocation. What are the things that are the challenges for the youths? What are the things that are driving the youth in terms of the agitation that we continue to see? 7 things I will just run through that I've identified as driving our youth in terms of the agitation that I have seen over time. When you go back to NSAS and you come back to the recent one, you will see that 7 things are critically there. The first one, economic challenges is cross-cutting. And I'm glad that the point was made here earlier in the day. Economic challenges, it is cross-cutting for everybody. There's a trust gap in terms of security agencies and the youth. And we have seen a situation where, over time, the security agencies are also trying to improve on what is on ground. A third one, leaders must stop the affluence that they flaunt. Because at the end of the day, these are the kind of things that brings out the kind of spirit that people feel. We are struggling. You are living in affluence. Why should this be? Identify with us in terms of the challenges. A fourth one, we must recognize that traditional African society, we have this nature of feeling that the older generation, they feel that what is it that the younger generation can give? But the dynamics have changed. If we look at the issues that I mentioned earlier, in terms of cyber threats, AI threats, and the rest of them, who is best positioned to manage them? It's the youth. Many of us adults, if you look at our phone, you don't use your phone 5-10%. But when you look at the younger generation, as young as age 10, 11, 12, 13, they use their phone 70%. In fact, their phone is more like an office for them, for the younger generation. And that is the huge difference in the way they do these things. Another challenge, failure of the justice system. We are having serious challenges with the justice system because cases are delayed. When cases are delayed and people don't see consequences for those who commit crimes, is a challenge. When youth are taken to the justice system, there is a particular way that younger people should be treated. Because of delays in the system, they are not so treated. So you see quite a number of things happening within the justice system. And that is why huge kudos should go to Mr. President in the support that Mr. President is beginning to give to the judiciary. It happened in Lagos. It is now happening at the federal level. We are going to be having a new Chief Justice of Nigeria very soon. All of these things will work together. And you see a situation where I will say that, yes, Mr. President has supported the judiciary. The judiciary also must use their own network to monitor themselves and reflect accountability. When they do that, when people commit offenses and they see the consequences early enough, it will deepen the confidence of those who are acting right. It is when people are not facing the consequences of their act that everybody feels, well, there is no big issue in committing a crime. But when people see that those who commit crimes are being disciplined and they follow the rule of law in doing this because it is important, you will see that everybody will begin to embrace the rule of law. Right now, the rule of law people will say it depends on the money you have in your pocket that will determine how rule of law is interpreted. By the time people begin to see consequences of their acts, it will no longer be a case of what you think you can do with your money. It will be a case of what is contained in the laws. It will not be a case of one law for the rich and one law for the poor. It will be a case of the law's eyes are actually blind. When you commit an offense, you get the consequences of your acts. Another one that has happened that I see as another driving force is the fact that our traditional institutions, we are not utilizing them the way we should. When we talk about community policing, the traditional institutions can come in to help a lot. And within these traditional systems, you have age groups within different systems. Within the age groups, you will see the youth are able to play their roles. This is the system that we know. If all of us go back to our villages today, the traditional systems are still there. The traditional systems are not dead. If I give you a joke now, it will appear as a joke, but it is the truth. If somebody goes into court, you give him the Bible, he will not look at it, he will pick it and say, the evidence I shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God, and you put it down. Give him the Quran, the evidence I shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and he'll put the Quran down. Let him swear by the deity of his community. He will not. He will not. Because whether it is true or false, spiritually within him, he fears the deity of his community. Let him live in the UK for years. It does not matter. When he comes back, he respects that deity. So we should not throw away our traditional institutions. We must find a way for them because they can effectively leverage on the youth within this community in developing our great nation. Another one is sincerity of engagement, the quality of engagement. Honorable Minister for Youth and Development, I went to your website, man. When you look at the antecedent of the Honorable Minister, in terms of what you did when you are leading the Women Forum, in terms of what you did when you are leading SDG, you have leveraged over time on engagement. So you find out that we have success stories of engagement that all of us in our little corners, tiny little areas have been doing. Why can't we bring these successes together at the national level of engaging with our youth? When I got to that website, I saw that there are laudable programs, there are laudable initiatives. But I asked myself 5 questions. I said, how inclusive of youth leaders are this program and the initiatives, both in developing them and the structure of strategies for implementation? If you did not factor the youth into these documents at the starting point, achieving success with them will be difficult. A second question, how are the deliverables being monitored for outcomes and compliance with timelines and quality? What is the level of interface with state government and local government for effective replication, bearing in mind that we are running a federal system? What roles are other relevant and related ministries and institutions playing in delivering the goals of these initiatives? Finally, how well are we gathering data to guide performance review and new initiatives? One of the major problems of our great country relates to data. Data is scattered everywhere. Our youth, when effectively engaged, can support the nation in gathering data that will be used effectively to guide our policies, advocacies, and other activities. And I said, most times, a number of brilliant initiatives die on the table of implementation. They are brilliant. Everybody wants to do them. But because we are not implementing them rightly, it is either they are hijacked or we are not able to utilize them. But when we bring in the youth with the social media, the way they will put in the event, this is the advantage of intergenerational systems. This is what intergenerational systems gives. When you leverage, the older generation will be leveraging on the youth also will be benefiting from the wisdom of the older generation. And I went on to say, there's a need for a new coalition for security intelligence. When I look at the distinguished array of people that the leadership of the police have been able to bring here today, it gave me great joy. Why? Most times we organize events like this. The critical stakeholders that should go away with the resolutions are not present when these discussions are going on. But today, we have the leaders of different critical stakeholders here present, including the youth. We are not babbing them in their absence. What do we all want to key into? We want to key into the mantra of quality engagement. We all want to key into the mantra. The success we had at LASU was simply a case of everybody, VC, management, everybody, security unit, admin officer, everybody keyed into engagement, sincere engagement. Because when you don't engage sincerely, what do you see? It is like trying to wake a man who is pretending to sleep. If a man is pretending to sleep, you can never wake him up. Because the more you wake him, the more he'll be snoring. Because he's pretending. So when you don't engage with people sincerely, at the end of the day, even when you mouth it, the mantra, we are engaging, we are talking to them, it will not achieve the goals. And they also will see that they are not being properly engaged. And I ask myself, when you look at the national youth policy, our national youth policy is one of the most robust. Why is it not working? It is not because people are wicked. It is not because people don't want to do. It is simply because we have not embraced the culture of sincere engagement. We have not understood engagement in the context of when you sleep, when you wake, when you relate. It has to be a discussion. All of us today, we know how we engage with our children. When I got to LASU, some people told me, they said, Mr. Vice Chancellor, the way you engage with these students, you are demystifying the office of the Vice Chancellor. I said, when I leave, let another person mystify it. Because this university that they said is one day, one crisis, for the 5 years of that tenure, not one day of crisis. The university became number 2 after University of Ibadan by Times Higher Education ranking. Times Higher Education is based in the UK, so we could not have influenced them. So what that means is, and it is not, you see, we make one mistake. We talk about it and say, Mr. President and Mr. Governor. It is not only about Mr. President or Mr. Governor. It is about all of us in our own little corner. When you run the light, you are creating a problem. So all of us, we need to understand that the mantra, the name of the game must change. Our youth, we must engage with them. And they also must be ready to engage with the system. That is when we will achieve the goals. And when I talk about the new coalition, what is it that the youth can offer national security intelligence? I know by the time we're through with it, a whole lot of ideas will also come from the conversation. But I just identify some quick things. When our youth are equipped with skills, they can support mediation and resolution of conflicts in our communities. We have communities where they are talking about resource conflicts. We have communities where they are looking at issues relating to ethnic and religious conflict, land matters. When we equip our youth with these skills, they will be able to work within their communities. And the truth of the matter is, some other countries are already using it. Rwanda is using it. Colombia is using it. We can also effectively use it. A second one, when we are formulating our national security policies, let us also be able to leverage on the insights of the youth. This is happening in India. We must be able to leverage the energy and the strength and the knowledge of our youth in the area of social media for national security. They are very techy. They are very savvy. And all it means, when you look at Lagos today, you find out that there is so much of tech development. Do we have a situation where we encourage our youth, whereby if you develop an app that is effective, the system will take it off with you. The system will work with you and develop it with you. So that we don't go out and just be importing everything. Let us leverage on them and utilize their own efforts. When people say that our students, they are not doing well, our students, education is poor, I tell them that you don't know these students. Let our students go outside Nigeria. They always distinguish themselves. Why? There is resilience in their DNA. There is a can-do attitude in the DNA of Nigerian students. It is there in their DNA. So you find out that assuming they have the exposure and opportunity of the kind of education that they have over there, they will be world beaters. We must recognize that Nigerian youths are assets to the nation. If we utilize them well, they will deliver. If we fail to utilize them, they will be hijacked and misused against our great country. We can leverage on sports. We can leverage on the arts. These are different areas. Through the sports, we give messages about national security. Through the arts, we give messages about national security. It is already happening in other countries. Brazil, the peace games that Brazil organizes, it is premised on it. The youth, they will be a powerful tool to foster a culture of security consciousness, patriotism, responsibility, and integrity. I was giving a lecture at Harvard. And when I finished my lecture, somebody asked me that all through the conversation, you did not talk about corruption in Africa. And I said, yes, I did not talk about corruption. Because those who are alleging corruption, they bring these monies into your country from Africa, and you take it. It takes two to tangle. So corruption is not, we did not evolve the word. That word is yours. So at the end of the day, if we are thieves, then it means a thief is alleging that we are also thieves. Two thieves that is the truth. So at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that corruption is all over. So what we need to do is let us bring in mechanisms for detection of what is happening in our country. And our youth can play a major role. Because there are so many apps that can be developed such that they'll be working within the system. And whatever malpractices that is going on will be revealed. A whole lot can happen in this space. Honorable Minister, sir, I don't envy you. You have a major work. We have so much. But Mr. President saw that capacity, looking at your antecedents, and we know you will deliver. Working together with others in the system, we know you will deliver. Our ministries should stop working in silos. You are not competitors. You are collaborators. Let us see them work together as collaborators. That is what this kind of event is saying. When I first got to LASU, after about 1-2 weeks, everybody was saying, Mr. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Because whether to the security or to the cleaner, it is thank you, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man. By the time I was living in 5 years, everybody was Mr. Thank you. Because we all respected ourselves. It became a mutual thing. And that is what this great nation needs. Tornado is not in Nigeria. Other terrible storms, they are not in Nigeria. God has blessed us. We now need to use the capacity and those endowments that God has given us to make sure that we energize ourselves. I was talking to my postgraduate students in class, and I told them, anywhere I go, it is only when it is winter that I will not be dressed like this. Anywhere in the world, I will be dressed like this because I want to tell them I am proudly African and proudly Nigerian. And that is what our youth should carry forward. We have so much pride in us. We have so much. Nigerian police, thank you for this event. Let everybody key into that mantra. Let everybody support the vision of Mr. President, we all knew where we are coming from. We all knew where we are coming from. And nobody is saying it is perfect. But we can do better when we work together and we collaborate. I also say we can use the youth involvement to denounce misinformation. Because all of the things that is happening, by the time the youth key into the agenda, when you circulate something that is not right, they will immediately correct it and it goes viral. Let's see who will do it better. You are a bunch of mischief makers. We have the large generation of Nigerian youth working with the system. And that is what we need. But when we alienate the youth and we don't let them see that we are not doing you a favor by allowing you into this space, you are legitimately entitled to be in this space with us. They will key into the agenda. We can identify the leaders. And it is not about Mr. President coming to engage with them. No. All we need is the policies, the rules, the laws are there. Everybody in their small corner engage. And that is what will make that difference. I went on to close on the basis of we must recognize that is what are the imperatives on security agencies. I'm sorry I'm brushing so that I can close this. What are the imperatives on security agencies and other government agencies? We must recognize the challenges on ground. And we must be intentional in addressing these challenges. We should not address it as business as usual. We must be intentional in addressing it. And every leader within the system must be determined about it. We must actively encourage youth participation in policy and advocacy that supports crime prevention through youth-friendly policies that integrate the role of youth in national security strategies. The role of economic empowerment through employment and entrepreneurship is critical. Education remains a pillar and foundational element in building a security-conscious and responsible youth population. All of us, we know what happened in Abuja during this last riot. We know what happened in Kano. We know what happened in Kaduna. And all of us who are making references to the Almajiri issues. How effectively have we deepened our interventions? In Sokoto, they adopted an Indonesian model some time back. What is that Indonesian model? It's a situation where they integrated Islamic education with secular education and then compulsory vocational practice. What does that mean? Every youth will be given a skill, one skill or the other that he will master, such that at the end of the day, you can become an entrepreneur and you can successfully feed yourself. When last did we do an audit of that Indonesian model in Sokoto State? Other northern states that are similarly circumstanced, have they embraced similar models? What we have is a situation where when the issues are on the table, everybody is just looking at what is there at that moment. We are not asking ourselves, what have we been doing over time? You know, there's this song then, what have you done for me lately? Oh, 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 oh. That is not it. It is not about what you have done for me lately. It's about let us ensure that we are consistent in what we are building. That model can effectively work for the Almajiri setting and the challenges we are having in that area. That is the Indonesian model. There's a need for sustainable mental health support and counseling systems for our vulnerable youth, because untreated mental health has a major role it plays in criminal activities. To leverage technology and innovation, government must encourage the private sector to support youth-led innovations in security technologies. There are mobile apps that can be developed anywhere by these youth. And let us, when they develop the mobile app, don't let us leave them to be struggling. I love what the Minister for Technology, Bosun, what he's doing now. Those are the kind of initiatives We need to aggressively deepen it, and it will work for us as a nation. Reward systems, and I believe from this kind of setting, we can take it further. What award systems do we have for Nigerian youth who are contributing to national security? IG, sir, if you have a system working together with others, we can have competitions where Nigerian youths that are able to develop apps that will support the work of our security agencies, where they will have awards, where they will have sponsorships, where they will be taken into the system as interns. A whole lot can happen. Internship and mentorship programs, grant programs, a whole lot. I'm a member of TED Fund Research Committee, and we see people coming forward with research in terms of developing apps that can support national security. Some people will say, you are copying what they have done in other climes. Who says it cannot be copied? So far, I'm not stealing your own, and I'm copying my own, I'm modeling myself after the kind of thing you have done, using my own senses. Who says I cannot do it? And then we have our intellectual property system supporting them so that they are not violating rules, but they are developing things that are indigenous to us because they are part of the system. That is when those things break down. We will not have to go and look for somebody to come and repair. We will simply call on them, and then you see them. Let us use our money. Rather than using it to develop people or bring people from there, let us use our own money, our funds, to develop our people. They will make mistakes, but they will get better. They will make mistakes at the early stages, but they will get better. Some of these initiatives that I'm talking about, they already exist. But the problem is, because we don't use monitoring and evaluation to know where we are, what are the challenges facing them, what can we do to improve, some of them, they collapse along the line. So that is why evaluation and monitoring is critical for every initiative that we throw up. Mindset of leaders and government functionaries must change. The name of the game must change. Build awareness and educate people. Establish regular forum for young people, security experts, and government officials for them to commingle ideas. When we sit at such events, at events like this, I can tell you so much will come out of it. Particularly when people sit and they know that you have a kind of timeline of actions as to what's next. People will key into it. What are my conclusions? We must begin to see our youth as global citizens with a role to play in the security of not just the nation, but the world, and nurture them as such. What happened in Bangladesh, Kenya, Uganda, Sri Lanka, among others, are clear indications that the youth cannot be suppressed for too long. Every stakeholder in this room must live with a resolve to actively work and support the vision of the administration to give leverage to Nigerian youth. Everyone is a clarion call. We don't have a choice. If you alienate yourself from your children, you're on your own. All of us as parents, when you argue and you say because you have arguments with your son or your daughter, and you say you don't want to engage with that child again, you're on your own because he will move on. He will move on. And many of us, we have tasted that pill. You will even now be using style to beg. Akin, Chinedu, Ngozi, Mohammed, I've not heard your voice for 3 days. Are you not going to call me? Because you alienated yourself. We must not, as a nation, alienate ourselves from our great youth. By 2050, Nigeria, according to the United Nations, is projected to be the third most populous country in the world, with majority of its population being youth. Effective engagement with them today will go a long way in shaping the country's future. Some will tell you, you are putting all of this forward for leaders to do. How about the youth? Don't worry. When you create a platform for engagement, I finish before you say me, I don't come out. When you create a platform for engagement, they will engage. The communique of this summit, IG sir, the communique of this summit must be clear on specific next steps and timelines that will enable us to benchmark ourselves on where we are and what next. The youth must be fully involved in this process too. You said something earlier. You said we are going to be having this regularly. And the highly cerebral PRO also said it, that this is the first and we'll have more. I dare say, sir, if we don't timeline what we want to do, if we don't see how we can interface, we will come back for the next one and we'll be starting from where we are ending today. Thank you very much and God bless you, sir.
Your Excellencies, I think our keynote speaker deserves a round of applause. And if possible, a standing ovation. He deserves it. Thank you so much. As you take your seats, we must agree that the Vice Chancellor, our keynote speaker, has spoken extensively and passionately about the topic of the day. And it is important to note that he will not just only speak, but also make available an opportunity for us to interact with him. So we're moving straight to that, which is the next on our agenda for today. But before then, we'd like to do a couple of introductions, then we proceed.
We really want him to take a deep breath before we go straight to the question. Ladies and gentlemen, in the building, we have here the President, Nigerian Youth Coalition, Yoruba Council Worldwide, Are Barrister Oladotun Hassan. Please, a round of applause for him. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Honorable Ibrahim Abdul Usman, Wambai Kefi, representing the Sultan of Sokoto. Thank you so much. A round of applause for him. You're welcome. Thank you very much, sir. And another amazing young Nigerian doing very well for himself. He is the Ambassador Corporate Affairs Commission, Ambassador Mike Premium. Thank you so much for coming. Please, a round of applause for him. As more name comes our way, we'll make sure we introduce them.
All right, moving on with the speed of light, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to once more invite to the panel stage for the Q&A segment. Help me make welcome again the Vice Chancellor, Lagos State University, Professor Olariwaju Agbohun, for this very, very important segment, sir.
Shortcut now, former Vice Chancellor.
Okay, former.
Avoid impersonation. Maybe one way they did no vessel.
My apology. Former, but very active. You're highly welcome, sir.
Before we take that, I would like to recognize the presence of a friend of the place, a veteran in broadcasting and journalism, who is wearing two caps there today. I've been told he's representing the Honorable Minister of Information, and he is the DJ, Voice of Nigeria. I have here in the house Mr. Baba Ndase, representing the Honorable Minister, and of course, he's a friend of the house, a great author. He's here personally to represent the Honorable. You are welcome once again, sir. Thank you so much. Then we have here our panelists, former Commissioner of Police, retired Commissioner of Police, and former Force PRO, ECS. Ojuko is here in the reading. You are welcome, sir. Dr. Monde Ashibogo. You are all welcome. And I want to welcome our friends all the way from Lagos, Comrade Femi Lawson. These are the people who are in University of Ibadan together. If I know we have police uniform, I don't know whether I've forgone from my NGO now to the zoo greatest Baba. I always tell them that I'm a comrade and I'm always a comrade. I put on black uniform. This is our official uniform. Now my friend go Dubai. He go buy me another material will be black again. I say you are a wicked man. Monday to Friday I go wear black. Evening you still want me to wear black again? You know go buy me another color. And I saw it be this is our official uniform. We still have blue over black. This one is Monday, Tuesday black. Wednesday, Thursday you see a blue. That is new blue over black. So that when you see anybody outside, wait, no wear like you go no send a fake. No be all the men when they misbehave for road, be police. Many of them are fake. Monday, Tuesday you see black. Apart from mobile, where you go see even mobile itself go wear black top. The denim for down, green down. Every Monday, every Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, you see also new black over new blue over black. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you see on our own camo. Not be all the time you go see how with all red band though. That red band when protest they hot, we wear them to show say we did at a lot. But now you just say we don't carry the red band again. And that photo where you say we are carrying gun, not be for protester. Now me still make us circulate that picture say I want kill protester with GPMG. Not be so na lie. I know they carry gun. I know go Fido. Now Igwe Day Stadium. Me I day office. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Shortcut.
Our guy, good say you clear yourself up. You know, very important because that picture, as I see the picture, to come your office, come they hear me.
If you see picture, okay, say na in the office, and honestly, they like say una choose well for people where they did the field.
Yes. Why you talk so?
Hey, commissioner now. If you see them for field, you know, not say now, where they come like this. So,
all right. Very quickly, we're moving straight to the Q&A segment. So we're just entertaining a couple of questions. So if you'd like to throw questions to our keynote speaker.
Now, shortcut. How many questions are you comfortable with?
Oga spent 2 hours here, they talk.
Now, we want to make it very brief because of other things we have to do. We'll just take like
five questions.
Five questions.
So just wave and we'll bring the mic to you. Thank you very much.
Come, you are passing.
Can we ask ushers to do this? Pass the mic around to whoever that wants to have the question. Ushers, please.
Okay, please, can you rise for your question?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. All protocol duly observed. My name is Ayodele Samuel Adekola. My question is, why didn't the police support the end bad government protest when the protest was aimed at improving the living standard for all citizens, including the police? Why didn't they support it? That's my question.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just take the question, all the questions,
Yes.
then we'll...
I think the best thing we need to do now, there is an interactive session for the Inspector General of Police. I think the two of them should go there. So the IG will assist the prof to answer some questions, while the prof will assist the IG to answer some questions. So, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate the IGP as it goes forward. The IGP is going to join the prof so that you can ensure there are some questions the prof will not be able to answer.
All right, Prof, I hope you got the first question, sir. Okay, the first question is for the IG, so please go again, one more time.
How you go ask IG question when prof is the one to answer? Don't be a confusionist too. We say prof, question for prof, you go ask IG question. Okay, IG don't join now. If you know you have questions for the IG, all the questions for prof, IG, throw the question to them now. They are capable of answering your questions. Plenty handle Osano Boa.
My question.
Okay, now we have like 200 questions.
Go ahead, please, one more time.
My question, IGP, sir. Why didn't the police support the end bad protest government protest when the protest was aimed at improving the living standard for all citizens, including the police. Why did the police support, sir?
Thank you. Ushers, could you move the mic to this side of the hall? Yes. Move the mic to this side of the hall. I see somebody representing Ohanes Indi Igbo there. I see.
Good afternoon, all protocols duly observed. My name is Right Honorable Ricky Mwajofo, Speaker in the Igbo Youth Parliament. I have two questions. One, to the Prof. Prof, I listened to you very carefully, and I must applaud you. Thank you so much. But I have a confusion somewhere. You constantly use the word riot as against protest. Two of them have different meanings. I believe the fact that what happened was a protest by the youth trying to agitate for good governance, hunger in the country. But you are using the word constantly, riot. I know some parts it was riotous, but then the intention was a national or nationwide protest. That's number one. Number two, GP, sir, I will commend you, joining the host of others to commend you for putting this together. Prof said it clearly. Engagement will solve so many problems. We've been shouting this aloud. You don't shave a man's head in his absence. Nigerian police can't do it all. The youth must be brought close to helping. 80%, or let me say 70% of the crimes perpetrated are perpetrated by the youth. They may be sponsored by the elderly ones, but are being executed by the youth. Suffice it to say that if you engage the youth, especially youth at the grassroots, the youth leaders at the grassroots, and the youth leaders of various credible youth organizations, they will identify every perpetrator of crime in their community. Because sometimes I'm from Southeast, when they say unknown gunmen, I feel bad. There is no gunman that is unknown.
Hello.
Nobody wears mask coming from limbo to come. But when you engage people rightfully with good intention, like Prof said, it must be intentional. If you have it as an intentional act to stop crime, then engage the right people at the grassroots, and surely you will curb the crime. So my question and advice is, how far from this today, what are your plans to engage the youth leaders at the grassroots and the youth leaders of various organizations? Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, two more questions and we're done.
Hello, sorry. There's a question here.
And please, if you're asking, go straight to the point, please.
Okay, my name is Honest Abba, and I'm directing the question to the IGP and Oga Olumoyewa here, the first PRO. My question is very simple, and as the mouthpiece of the youth, I want to ask IGP and Oga Olumoyewa, first PRO, if there's an item 7 after this program.
Now you know that we came with hunger.
Okay. Don't mind that man. These are the people that dominate the social media. In fact, they are the practitioners of content creating, skit making, influencers guild of Nigeria. That is one of them. I have them. I have Michael Obinna. I have royalty, that is Etauso, and I have Honest Abba. That one there claims to be billionaire, but what shishi, you know get. For social media, they say be billionaire.
Please, those in support of that question, say aye. The ayes have it. Can we move on, please?
Hello. Question here, please.
Go ahead.
Question here, please. My name is Barrister Kere Kingdom. I am convener lawyers in defense of democracy. IGP, thank you so much for this engagement. Thank you so much for this engagement. I will also suggest that it should be taken around the 6th geopolitical zone and let it be a post-protest dialogue the Nigerian police is embarking upon with Nigerian youth with sincere motive to dialogue and negotiate. Like the professor told you, don't allow people take grips of the Nigerian youth from you. So make it a geopolitical zone issue. We will assist in the southeast to have a similar program in the 6 geopolitical zones. My question to the IGP is, why was the Nigerian police and the authorities very insincere about engaging the protesters? Before August 1st, the police and the government could be saying, we don't know the promoters of the protest, we don't know the sponsors of the protest. But as from 1st of August, in this FCT, we addressed the media at MK Abiola Stadium, where the police had gone to obtain an expert order to restrict our activities. The same police aided those that were supposedly talks, either sponsored by whoever we don't know, to meet the protesters at the very stadium where they have asked us to go and protest. And those talks came with the purpose of unleashing mayhem on us. So what I'm saying in essence is that from 1st of August, when the protest started, we addressed the press. All those that were promoters of the protest, sincere protest within the ambit of rule of law. I'm not talking about violent riot and criminality. Going about to loot people's property or government property is criminality. We are talking about those of us that gathered to condemn corruption, condemn bad governance in this country. Why was the government and the police insincere about engaging the protesters? Because they will tell you on the media, we want to engage them. We don't know them. But as from August 1st, when we came out to speak, nobody called for any sincere engagement. Why was that the situation?
Thank you very much. So two more questions. Yes. 2 more questions and we are done. Hello. All right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
My question is to Mr. IG. So I would like to ask, what is the Nigerian police doing to secure farmers and battle insecurity? Because I think a lot of the concerns during the protest was on food shortage. People are hungry, Mr. IG, and farmers are not farming enough. Nigeria shouldn't be a country that is having food shortage. And the insecurity is terrible. Farmers can't farm, even for family's sake, not even for commercial use. So what is the police doing to battle insecurity for farmers? I think that's very important. People are hungry.
Thank you. Last question.
My name is Wokoma Messiah. I represent the International Association of World Peace Advocates. I have a question for the IG. Hello? I have a question
Hello, sorry, please. Hold on. Hello. I think we need to reorganize this with the express permission of the IGP and experts that are here. Let's turn this to the discussion session straight. So let me invite others that are to attend to some questions here to join them in that place. I think I'm going to start with the Honorable Minister of Youth. You have questions to attend to. Please join them there. Dr. Monde Ashiboku, please go. CP ECS Ojuku, retired, go. Then where's the NIPR president? Is he still there? The NIPR president, please, you have to join. NUJ president, you are to join. And that forms the complete. You are part of this, sir. Yes, sir. You are my president, sir.
Okay, my name is...
Minister, you have to be there. Sorry, ma. So that the thing can balance. There's no woman there. There's no woman there, ma. Gender. We are going to do that. You, as a minister, take your position first, ma. She doesn't want to join, so I want her to join. Eyes of it. Honorable Minister, they want you up. There will be, don't worry, you take your seat first. 20 staff officers get additional seat there. Just get one seat there. It may not be a bucket chair, just get a seat. Prince Adibolo, come forward here. Staff officers, can you please get chair for ECS Ojuku, please? Let us stay close to Sunday, Monday, Ashibogude. We'll give him cordless mic. I think for us to get it properly done, once the leader of your group has spoken, all of us in a group cannot speak because of our time. So each of the groups should appoint a leader, your spokesman that will speak on behalf of your group. Because I'm scared to see all these hands up, I don't know how we're going to manage this. We need to manage our time. Prince Absalam Ladigolo, come and coordinate this. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, who is the next person? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Wokoma Mezai. I represent the International Association of World Peace Advocates. My question is, the secondary school system has become a breeding ground for cultism. And my question is to the IG. What can the Nigerian police do to engage the secondary school system to educate them and enlighten them on the ills of this cultism and other criminal activities? That's my question. Thank you.
Where is the mic?
I have two questions, one for the Minister of Youth and one for the IG. I remain Bishop Douglas Kanatapwa, Vice President, National Youth Council of Nigeria, representing our National President, Ambassador Sukubo Saragbe Sukubo. Even though we have given our name, we have not been recognized here as the #1 youth organization recognized by the Constitution. My question number one is for IG. I don't know, the Inspector General of Police, what are you going to do for the bad acts in your organization, most especially the police? You know, police says they are our friends, but some of the police is unfortunately some things happened 2 days ago, which I was part of it. So I want the Inspector General to sincerely take a note and give us a solution of the bad acts in police, because there are a lot of bad acts in your organization that you need to work on them. And secondly, the Youth Investment Fund. That's the question go to the Minister of Youth. I have a lot of calls from my states, my local governments about this applying of the fund. The formula of applying it is very, very difficult for people living in the rural areas. Some of these farmers, they don't have the CAC certificate, they don't have a business plan, and I want the minister to look at this and give us an answer so that we can go back to our people that farms, and also to assure the government should take a serious note of securities, because farming is becoming something the bandits are destroying and killing our people. We cannot farm, things are getting more cost. But let the minister work on that youth investment law so that the lower people, the leveraged local person can access the loan. They call on me every day, more than 200 people on this. I raise my case.
Please, next question. You have just 30 seconds.
I'm here. Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you so much to Professor Olariwaju. I'm Safia Garba. So, I'm so sorry. Regarding the youth participation, I'm one of the young people who have been working in the CSH section for 7 years. So in 2022, we were working on a project, and as a member of a youth organization, and we lost one of us. Maybe because of the projects we were doing. So my question is now is, for the young people who are dedicating their time to bring applications and some systems who are trying to put Nigeria into place, what is the guarantee for our life and security? Because we lost this guy in 2022, and there was nothing we could do about it. Until now, there was no investigation or anything.
Okay, are we done? Please, can you collect the microphone from our place? Please bring the microphone. Please, please. Bring the microphone, please. We have limited time.
Good evening, Your Excellencies. My name is Ambassador Abraham Kwafan, the National Coordinator, National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organization in Nigeria. My question goes to the Honorable Minister for Youth, the IGP, and I think I will pause there because they are the major stakeholders in what we want to say. I want to ask, what is your take on the issue of promotion of volunteerism in Nigeria? Considering the fact that a lot of youth, in fact, as a matter of fact, we have over 10 million Nigerian youth who are volunteers in different organizations, as you can see, with different uniforms here. But we find it difficult to assess your recruitment, even the fund they just raised some years ago. None of our members have ever benefited from it. What are you doing on this? Also, we want to ask, is it not better to promote volunteerism to the extent that we can have national volunteers corps? Since we have volunteers in virtually every community in Nigeria, why not come up with national volunteers corps where police cannot be able to go, volunteers can be able to assist them? Moreover, again, I want to also mention, we talk of state police, community police, and all of that. Is it not cheaper to use the volunteers to cover these gaps, considering the fact that if you are paying a policeman 50,000 naira, you give a volunteer 30,000 naira, he will give you a better job than what you are expecting a policeman to do. And again, the volunteers...
Round up, please. Round up.
Okay.
Round up, please.
This is my submission. I am of the opinion, as a matter of fact, we have written to His Excellency the President, we have dropped a copy with the Honorable Minister of Youth, NSA and others, but nothing has been done. If you engage the youth, they are the one committing the crime. They know how to go about and try those committing crimes. Because, and they will look at it that they are inclusive and they will give you the best.
Okay,
I think something should be done.
Thank you. Please bring the microphone. Thank you so much. And please, don't indict the youth. Not all youth commit crime, okay? Please bring the microphone. It's okay. Thank you. I think you were well prepared for this, but I also want us to lose track of why we're here, because it's when you have a peaceful society, that's when you can talk about anything, which is actually goal number 16, if I'm not mistaken, of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, sir, I will open the floor for the discussion. Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, can we have the PRO, Hannes Ndibo? Please, let him have the mic. He has a question, please. It's crucial. Please pass the mic to him. Pass the mic to him. You have 30 seconds.
Please, may I stand on existing protocol without wasting much time? There has always been this statement whenever there is an issue in Nigeria. A particular geopolitical zone will be asked to leave a part of Nigeria. And this statement has always occurred in this same country where we are all citizens of Nigeria. For instance, whenever there is an issue either in the north or in the south, the Igbos will be threatened to leave their country and go back to their zone. And in all of this, we have always called on the Nigerian police to investigate the people making that statement and issuing the threat, and nobody has been brought to book. So here today, I came under the umbrella of Ohaneze Ndibo Youth Wing worldwide as the public secretary of that umbrella body. Please, the IG, we want to know, is there any place that is enshrined in our constitution that an Igbo man cannot live peacefully either in the north or in the south as in Nigeria and do business peacefully, because we have suffered so much in the hand of the supposed our brothers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. The first question, all your questions are very good questions. I think we have just 3 minutes, sir, because we are actually running out of time. And I want to hold you also to kindly simplify the grammar, because most of them may not actually decode what we're about to say. The keynote speaker, Professor Fagbon, please, I think you can have it first. 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to address 2 issues there. The one about why is it that the police did not support the protests. I will say this. Let us work with reality. The reality is there are structures within the system. If you say the police should support the protest, then you can equally say PHCN, all of them should support the protest, which means everything will break down. So at the end of the day, what you should have is those structures that should continue to function. They should function. And you see that the kind of attitude that you saw in several areas with the police, which was what I said there, that attitude was they were very calm, they were very matured in the way they were dealing with the protesters. It was when it degenerated in some areas that you saw the kind of engagement that you see. The police also recognized that there are challenges. We have challenges in Nigeria. Every other nation has their own challenges. So at the end of the day, we cannot ask for a total breakdown that the police should support, the military should support, everybody. When everybody comes onto the streets, who manages the nation? So that is why the structures must continue to function. But you will see that everybody at that time was also emphasizing, allow the protest, those who are genuinely involved in protest, allow them to have the protest. But those who want to hijack, those are the people that people were being cautious about. And that was what resulted in losses. So again, the point was made about riots and protests. I agree with you that those who are doing, and I recognize that in my speech, that there are people who are out there genuinely to protest the challenges that they were facing, that the nation is facing. So they were out there, but some others were out to precipitate riots and crises.
Thank you, sir.
So I recognize and I accept that.
Thank you,
then
sir.
the final one on cultism. Okay, the final one on cultism. As another member there has answered, another member of the audience answered that question. When the youth are also involved in tracking it, it makes it a lot easier for us to because they know those who are doing it. But what happens is, when that mantra of, when you see something, say something, when it becomes meaningless, because you see, and then you now become the victim, that is when people don't say. But when that mantra, you see something, say something, becomes meaningful, in that those who are caught are dealt with, you will see that there will be changes.
Thank you so much, bro. So the next question, sir, is going to the Inspector General of Police. But before you go ahead, sir, there is another additional question which says that how do you standardize the information sharing? And also, how are you going to build capacity of Nigerians to even identify potential threats, talk less of getting in touch with the Nigerian police? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I have 14 questions directed to the Inspector General of Police. Yeah. And to the Minister. If you give me 30 seconds to answer each, that will take me 7 minutes. Question 1. Why didn't the police support the End Bad Government protest when the protest was meant for all Nigerians? Prof has helped to answer that, but I will have to make additions to the answer provided by Prof. My response to this will be in 3 parts. Number 1 is that, of course, Prof said it, our responsibility is not to take part in protest, but to manage protest. 2 is that the intelligence at the disposal of the police. Anyone who knows what we know about this protest will not come out to protest. We have intelligence at our disposal that some agents of destabilization are ready to use the hardship protest to destabilize our country. I won't be able to share the details yet because we are still on the trail of these individuals. Some of them are already out of the country. They immediately escaped. Some of them are even foreigners. One of them was traced to the Labour House the other day, and I was just wondering why the noise about the raid on Labour House when the police didn't raid Labour House. We raided only a shop that the individual was using as a front, and we have been monitoring his activities. He was very active in the Sudan crisis. And he's in Nigeria mobilizing people to destabilize our country. We traced him to that shop, and our detectives raided his shop. We recovered valuable documents. So there was no need for the noise about the raid of Labour House. We didn't raid Labour House. The NLC Secretariat was not our focus. Secondly, is our experience with previous protests. I will always make reference to the EndSARS protest, which turned violent. It started initially as peaceful, but any protest that is mobilized on the social media has the potential to be violent. Because when you are mobilizing on social media, you are mobilizing the whole population, including the criminals. So the idea of the protest being hijacked, I don't believe that protest that is mobilized on the social media is hijacked. Hijacked by who? By the same people that were mobilized for the protest. So our experience in previous protests would not make the police to want to take part in any protest that we know is going to be violent. The third part is when you are saying you want a peaceful protest and you tagged that protest, you said you want a 10-day peaceful protest, and you tagged that protest 10 days of rage. Of course, we know that you are not being sincere with the word peaceful. Question 2. Yeah, the person who asked this question stated that engagement would solve so many problems, and he asked, what are we doing to engage the youth going forward? Very good question. What are we doing? One of it is what we are doing right now. The aim of this summit, organized by the Nigerian police in collaboration with UNESCO, is to have sincere engagement with the Nigerian youth. We want to build trust, and we want collaboration with the Nigerian youth. Question 3, that's the item 7 question. That question is meant for the first PRO. He will answer this properly. Question 4. The person who asked the question stated that, okay, this is just a suggestion. He suggested that we should have post-protest dialogue in all the geopolitical zones. That is quite noted. We will consider it. Question 5 was about, okay, the person who asked the question raised issues about insincerity about the protest, that we call them faceless even when they came out to address press conference. But before the protest, we made it clear that the police will be out to protect peaceful protesters. People who want to come out for peaceful protest will be out to protect them. We also gave our guidelines. We asked them to come forward. They should meet their commissioners of police, indicate their intention to stage a peaceful protest. And the commissioner of police in the state will make adequate arrangement for their protection. It is not enough for you to address press conference. What is required of you is to follow our guidelines. Meet the commissioner of police in your state, make your intention known, and the commissioner of police will make adequate arrangement for your protection. You did not inform us that you wanted to make a press conference. So next time, please endeavor to meet the commissioner of police. We have reasons why we insist that you must meet your commissioner of police and let him know the details of what you want to do. It is for your own personal protection. Because we have the intelligence we have, you don't know. If you are planning for peaceful protest, and we also know that some other groups want to take advantage of your peaceful protest to cause violence, to unleash violence on the population. If you have gone to discuss with your commissioner of police, he's in a very good position to guide you. If we ask you to stay in a particular location for your peaceful protest, it is because we also know that some people will be coming out to unleash violence. A peaceful protest on the streets cannot go side by side with violent protest. You won't be able to differentiate. That's why we insist that you should stay at a particular location. If you know you are for peaceful protest, then we'll make arrangement for your protection. But if you insist you must go on the streets with those people who want to stage violent protest, we won't be able to differentiate between the two groups. 6, what is police doing about insecurity to allow farmers to go back to the farm? Very good question. We are doing a lot. In the Northeast, we have started farm patrol to give confidence back to farmers to return to farm. Mr. President is very, very concerned about it, and we are doing our best. But let me also add that the security landscape in Nigeria is complex and diverse, marked with a range of challenges, requiring multidimensional responses. We have challenges in security. There is also economic challenges. There is political challenges. We have environmental challenges. All these challenges are interconnected. To solve these challenges, we need to understand their interconnectedness. You can't solve one challenge and leave the others. It's not going to work. So we need to solve these challenges simultaneously. And that's why you see agencies of government, departments of government working at the same time, working together. Solving these challenges simultaneously is not as easy as solving simultaneous equation. A lot is required. We need enormous resources. It requires focused leadership. And when I say focused leadership, I mean leadership at all levels. We don't start looking at leadership only at the center. We are all leaders at our own different levels. We must all be focused. It also requires committed citizens. Our citizens must show patriotism. Our citizens must show responsibility. We must embrace our duties and responsibilities to our country. We have responsibilities to obey the law. If we obey the law, there will be no corruption. We have responsibilities to cooperate with the police, assist law enforcement agencies. Let us embrace our responsibilities as citizens. So solving our challenges requires that all of us are involved. Question 9. What can the police do to engage secondary school students because the secondary schools is becoming a fighter ground for cultism? Very good question. In the Nigerian police as of today, we have recently established a unit called POCACOV. POCACOV means Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Vices. That unit is headed by a senior police officer. Our target is students in secondary school. So we are doing a lot to discourage cultism, and we are starting at the level of the secondary school students. Question 10. What are we doing about bad eggs in the police? You said that a lot of bad eggs are in the police. I accept that we have bad eggs. But the bad eggs are everywhere. They are not only in the police. Whatever you see in Nigeria today, in the police today, is a reflection of what Nigeria is. It is called Nigerian Police Force, not Ghana Police Force, not Republic of Benin Police Force. Members of the force are Nigerians. So a society gets the kind of police it deserves. That notwithstanding, we are fishing out the bad eggs because we are responsible leaders. We are fishing out the bad eggs in our midst and we are punishing them. We are discouraging bad behavior. By punishing bad behavior, and we encourage good behavior by reinforcing those good behavior. Question 11. Efforts to protect those who come out to protest and fight for better Nigeria. I think that's what I got from the lady who was, that's what I managed to get from the lady who was sobbing and talking at the same time. We have stated it severally that it is the right of citizens to have peaceful assembly and to protest. We recognize that right. And we will always protect the rights of our citizens. We have introduced a course in our police colleges and training schools on the protection and promotion of human rights. For you to become a policeman today, you must have gone through that course. We are focusing on protection of human rights. And that is why we always emphasize that we recognize your rights to peaceful assembly and to protest. But that right is right to peace. It is not right to violent protest. No sane community, society, would tolerate violent protest in the name of a right. 12, use of volunteers in community policing. We're already doing that. A few years ago, the federal government approved community policing strategies for Nigeria. And the approach in that community policing strategy is to also engage special constabulary. This special constabulary are volunteers. We embrace volunteers. All our DPOs, our area commanders, have been tasked to make use of volunteers in their different areas. The vigilante groups are also volunteers. We work with all of them. We work with all stakeholders. So the volunteers have a place in our policing strategies in Nigeria. 13. The question 13, that was the question from the representative of Ohaneze. You stated that Igbos have been threatened to leave their communities each time there is crisis in Nigeria. Well, that may be true in some cases, in some places, but I think it's not a general thing. Like in my own community, we have a lot of Igbos. We have mixed tribe in my community. And anytime there is crisis, nobody tells any tribe to leave. And I know that that is general in Nigeria. But in few cases where you have that, I will advise that you report to the authorities concerned. Question 14, which is the last question, on standardizing our information sharing. That is basic. We have a standard in sharing information. We share information on the need-to-know basis. We share with all agencies who should know about whatever information that we have. Time. Thank you.
Sir, I'm asking you that you should rephrase the question. The question is actually directed to the youth, that how are they able to share information if they detect, if they identify potential threats? So it's from the civilian now to the officers. So that is the question. And then, how will they be able to identify? For example, I don't even know how to identify threat, because there was a day someone said, "Oh, bring that magazine." I stood up, I was trying to defend, no, not you. Until you know what magazine is. That's the day I realized that that's what they call magazine. So if I see something now, I don't even know, how are you going to build the capacity of the level, even at the surface level, that, oh, this is a threat. Where should I drop them? Not within the security agency systems.
Okay. We encourage all citizens of Nigeria to cooperate with the police and share information with the police. If you see something, you say something. All our officers have been trained to protect their informants. The DPOs, from the level of DPOs upward, they have a responsibility to protect their informants. Gone are the days when people are afraid to give information to the police for fear that they might be exposed. If you have fear that you'll be exposed, please meet the officer in charge of the station, or go directly to the Commissioner of Police in your state and share whatever information you have with him. And I can assure you that you'll be protected. Thank you
So much. He's truly a mathematician. Exactly 15 minutes plus 4 extra share. Okay, the next question. I know the Honorable Minister of Youth is going to speak last, because you are wearing 2 caps. And then I don't think I have the confidence to say you should talk now, because you are representing the President. So I think the next question will go to the DG, because we are already out of time. The DG of VOA, right? Oh, is it VON? NEJ President, sorry, apologies. The question is trying to, there's a question, I think, for it. Okay, because there's a question here. He said, I should ask you. Please, I can't see this handwriting, so I don't think I can be able to read it. It's like shorthand. So, do you want to answer any other questions, sir? No? Do you put any question you'd like to answer to share today? Please, go ahead. 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. It's a general question about engagement. The part of the essence of this meeting is for the police to engage the youth. And the police has lived true to that by having this meeting. Engagement is key, because the youth, like the Prof mentioned in his address, form 60 to 70% of the population. So the police will not do itself any good if it neglects 70% of our constituency. It serves the police well. And during the NSAS protests, there were some police stations in the heat of it that were not touched. The communities protected the police stations from arsonists. If you know fake gain on each other, the DPO there, the community gathered around the place and made sure nothing happened to the police station. It didn't happen in a satellite station in Lagos. They were protected because the police engaged the community, and the community saw it as a responsibility to protect their police. Because the police, like the IG says, is the police of Nigeria. Police by Nigerians, for Nigerians. There's no foreign Nigeria police. So the community have a responsibility under our law under the Constitution, Section 24, to assist law enforcement officials in maintaining law and order. It is mandatory on every citizen. But the police has the wherewithal. They also have the responsibility to get members of the community to cooperate with them. There's going and operating. It's about collaborative effort. I think the police has been engaging largely, and the members of the community who have been engaged have to cooperate, knowing full well that it is in their own interest. If there's a protest and people are dying, those who are dying are Nigerians. And if you attend an examination and they ask you the population, you say 200 million, you fail because 2 just died in the course of a riot. We need to protect ourselves, and the police is the key element in internal security. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, do you have questions to answer?
I will speak to 2 issues the Inspector General has raised, and I think it's something that we need to also revisit from time to time. One is the issue of social media engagement. I listened to the IGP say that any protest organized on social media has every potential to be otherwise. But I think also, now that we have this same engagement that we've decided to take from this point, it's important that this engagement moves to the same sphere where you have 83 million digital natives that are youth. You have 363 million digital natives around the world. Nigeria accounts for 22% of digital natives between the ages of 15 and 24. And that is not an environment you can ignore. That is not an environment we should take for granted. You are talking about access to information. We are talking about a new kind of warfare now, and that is the war of narratives. People are building different narratives within the judicial space to recruit Nigerian youths, either to work for or against their governments. So I think the entire security architecture, both at the NSA level, at the police and military, should be looking at the war of narratives. First, you must convert one. The mindset is very paramount in this warfare. If you have no idea about how to deal with mindset of young Nigerian men and women, there's every tendency you will lose them in the fight against insecurity. Another weapon that has been used and is consistent within the Nigerian narrative is the culture of poverty. The culture of poverty is different from poverty itself. It is the ability to take the same person who shares the same problem, manipulate that same person to fight that other person who has similar problems. And we saw that happen in causes of protest, where persons will come out to give certain narratives. The war of narratives is very huge within our social media space. And I think it is high time also, as you've done this training for people in terms of human rights, you should also begin to engage with your public relations unit and as well as other commissioners of police at state, command, zonal levels and at the headquarters to deal with this concept of the war of narratives. If you can't win the war of narratives, you will spend more expending bullets and weaponry that will not change people's mindsets.
Thank you, sir. That was very fantastic. So I would like to give the floor to the Minister of Youth, Dr. Jamila, to please answer our questions. I hope your own is not up to 14 questions. You know, you'll be answering questions from 2 different camps.
Okay. Unfortunately not. Good afternoon, everyone. I would not have hesitated to join the panel, but because I'm wearing multiple caps and Mr. President's assignment takes precedence over other assignments, I was just not certain if I was permitted or allowed to speak in my capacity as Minister of Youth Development, beyond representing His Excellency, Mr. President. But I'm sure that Mr. President would not also give up an opportunity to engage and speak to our vibrant young Nigerians and other stakeholders in the youth development space and the security space as well. So even though I indicated actually my interest in speaking in my capacity as Minister of Youth Development, because Prof already had set some questions for me, about 5 questions, and I thought that I wouldn't have done justice. My presence here would not do justice if I don't respond to those 5 questions, because they were all well put into consideration during the design of our programs and initiatives. And thank you so much, Prof. You have indeed proven that you are an academic, a renowned one for that matter, because you took me back to the classroom. I took out my pen and paper, and I was writing down all the questions that you had raised. So before speaking to the questions of the panel, I didn't know that indicating that interest, I was setting myself up for a seat on the panel. But I'm more than honored to be part of this esteemed panel. Well, the first will be the first 5 questions from Prof. The inclusion of youth leaders in design and creation of our youth initiatives. I think, like you already stated in your keynote address, Prof, that the National Youth Development Policy is Nigeria's National Youth Development Policy is one of the most robust youth development policies you have come across. And as a matter of fact, when we came on board, the policy period had lapsed, so it was time to review it. Looking at the document, examining it, I also realized that, yes, it was time to review, but there really wasn't much of a change. But then we realized some gaps, like youth well-being, to be well addressed, and to that effect, the committee that is reviewing it has actually included or recommended that we establish a youth well-being department in the Ministry of Youth Development to address mental health, sexual and reproductive health issues of young people, in collaboration, of course, with the Federal Ministry of Health. And we also got a great commitment from the Africa CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, Africa, and in the coming weeks, we will hope to be hosting all ministers that are addressing youth issues across the African continent, in addition to the fact that Mr. President has also earned his spot and his accolades and recognition as the African Union Champion for Health. In the coming weeks, we will be hosting, and in collaboration with the Africa CDC and, of course, the Nigeria CDC. I'm also delighted to see that one member of the Youth Development Policy Review Committee had actually spoken earlier. Ricky, he is the man in the red cap over there. He is a member of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. He is representing that organization, because when we came on board, we realized that the policy committee, review committee that was established, didn't have a good youth representation. And like he had said earlier, that you cannot shave my head in my absence. So we had to reconstitute that committee to ensure that a minimum of 40% of young people, including young people from the various youth groups, to be part of this review committee, and the students groups were also not left out. Well, the deliverables, how do deliverables be monitored to ensure compliance? I want to assure you and every well-meaning Nigerian and the young people that we have developed a very robust M&E framework and a feedback loop to ensure that we are accountable and transparent when we are implementing the process of implementation. And also, why the policies fail is because, like you said, we do not engage in sincere, meaningful, we don't sincerely engage, and we continue to work in silos. Well, we are also hinged on principles that will foster building long-term long eroded trust between young people and Nigerians. And that was why it took us a while to communicate our policies, because we wanted to be sure that we could deliver on this and to build trust, because it's a long-term ongoing conversation. So I've spoken about the M&E, then I will speak to the state government and local government involvement, along with the roles of the ministries, departments, and agencies, because it's all about co-creation. So for the MDAs, they are the custodians of the policy, so we rely on them to give us the policy direction, and then we would co-create with them how to fix young people to be active contributors to the various sectors. So we have enterprise clusters that we're co-creating with the Ministry of Blue Economy, the Ministry of Solid Minerals. We are also going to be working with the Ministry of Agriculture, just amongst others, and the Ministry of Health as well. So it's quite, like you said, you do not envy me, but so help me God. So collaboration with the state governments now, also co-creation, because we development happens at the local government level and at the sub-national level. So we're not going to be 100% centralized when we're implementing. We will be decentralizing our implementation. And we had a very robust engagement, for instance, with the governor of Niger State, the governor of Katsina State, and the governor of Ondo State, where we will be, in fact, the governor of Niger State, being very proactive, has committed 100,000 hectares of land for implementation of our initiatives, which is the presidential initiative on youth enterprise clusters. Well, the data gathering and performance review, which is very important. We must ensure that we have data to ensure targeted and informed policy decisions, because resources are very slim, and we must ensure that we make decisions that are timely and efficient as well. So yes, communication strategy. Yes, we understand that it is important to have a robust communication strategy where we involve young people and engage with them on social media. And we've gone through a process of developing that and putting a lot of factors into consideration. And in the coming days, our communication will be strengthened and well improved to ensure that young people are 100% on board when we communicate, because what's the point designing programs and initiatives when we cannot get feedback and how people are faring with our policies? So the Coalition for Security Intelligence, even though this is not a question for me, but you mentioned it, I will also be mentioning a few things about we know that insecurity is a huge challenge, and this also will be responding to one of the questions of the NYCN representative. We know that insecurity is a huge challenge when we, for our young people to go to farms and all of that. So we're in the process of building a partnership between the Civil Defense Corps, the NSCDC, and we're hoping to also foster that kind of collaboration with the Nigerian Police Force, where our enterprise clusters would be secured by young people who come from the communities where these enterprise clusters will be created, because the NSCDC has a mandate to secure critical national assets. So the PIAC, the enterprise clusters, and for short, is called the PIAC initiative. So the PIAC initiative we envision will morph into critical national assets that need to be protected. So once people have a sense of ownership, then they will be more obliged to protect this infrastructure. So that way, we're also leveraging local security intelligence, and of course, we hope that we can build that partnership and see how to bring the Nigerian Police Force into it, because their mandate is also to ensure that the internal security of lives and property of Nigerians and people living within the Nigerian borders is secured. So this will go a long way to solve two major problems: unemployment and insecurity. And of course, food insecurity is also part of insecurity. So, well, now I will go to the questions from the panel. The NYCN representative asked about grassroots indigenous involvement. I can say that I feel very strongly about inclusivity, being very inclusive when we implement developmental programs and initiatives. Being a person, an indigene of the grassroots myself, I know how it feels when people are unable to participate because of certain barriers. So it's in light of that the Youth Investment Fund has already put that into consideration by creating a unit for inclusion to ensure that this unit is dedicated to ensuring that we ease up the application processes for young people, especially for young people who are in communities where, in fact, for those who do not have CAC, I think it's really a problem solved. But a serious challenge that we're still grappling with is still how to get down to communities that do not have access to the internet. But we've also devised some strategies, but then those will not be immediately, because it hurts me because people will not be able to benefit within the first 10 days, because in the next 10 days, hopefully we will be disbursing to the first set of beneficiaries of the restructured Youth Investment Fund. So what hurts me is that those at the grassroots require even a little longer process than those who have access to internet. But we're on top of that, and we will ensure that these communities are not left behind. And inclusion?
I think, sorry, there are lots of questions there. I think the first PRO, please, sir, where are you? I think the other question, because there are a lot of questions they want to throw.
Okay,
so
I will summarize.
They should mail it to us so that it can, because, so do you want to take home or?
Yes, I'm fine with the questions, actually.
The first PRO is here. I said we have a lot of questions here, and I think we don't have
I will wrap up in 3 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. We're taking it a step further to ensure that persons with special needs are also included. Voice recognition solutions to support persons with special needs will be also deployed, and then to improve their application process. And we've set aside 10% of our interventions for persons with special needs. There's also a support system. We're putting together a system that will support young people in drafting their business plans. But then, well, I don't want to say too much about that. The Corporate Affairs Commission, we're in collaboration with them, and they will be stepping in to support us to ease the process of business registration. So we want to ensure we do not turn anyone away, because this is it's a fund that is meant for young people, and we're here to support every single young person. We're also translating into the major Nigerian languages just to ensure that we breach the language barrier before we go a little more granular to the dialects as well. So volunteerism was touched on, a question about volunteerism. I'm also pleased to let you know that the Renewed Hope Youth Development Strategy has 4 core tactical objectives, one being governance and strong institutional strengthening, jobs, skills, and innovation. The third being culture, behavioral change, because under this third pillar is where volunteerism and mentorship falls. So I was really excited because the questions were like music to my ears, because it shows that our programs and initiatives resonate very well with the people, and our policies will be easily accepted by the people as well. So youth volunteerism now, as it concerns the security architecture of our country, we've had complaints about people saying that they're not happy about the quality of security agents and all. But like the IG said, not everyone is bad. and we are a reflection. The forces are a reflection of who we are. So I think it's important that we catch people young, and I'm also calling on all security agencies that to key into our Young Marshals initiative. This is an initiative that we want to ensure that the most patriotic crop of officers within the security architecture of our country collaborate with the Federal Ministry of Youth Development to mentor young people, to teach them what the essence of being of servitude to nation means. And perhaps along the line, they can also grow up to be patriotic officers, and they would have also understood why, the essence of being a force man, or a man of someone who would sacrifice their lives for their country. So it is also, because we understand that there's a gap for mentorship, and we're very committed to breaching this gap to ensure, and we just call on you to support us, to work with us to achieve this. We've already engaged with the agencies under the Federal Ministry of Interior, and the Minister is 100% committed to ensuring that they support us to succeed. I see that the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff is here. I know I see that the military men in the house are nodding their heads, and I'm excited that we already have your cooperation. Well, the PIAC, Renewed Hope, okay. Then the fourth pillar of the Renewed Hope Youth Development Strategy is human capital development. We all, as the name implies, we all understand what human capital development means. Then this really was not a question for me, but I think it's a point that needs to be responded to, or to explain what the government, through the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, is doing to ensure that we promote unity, the spirit of unity and brotherhood in Nigeria, because the Indibo, the PRO of the Indibo Youth Community, Youth Council or organization made mention of this. Well, the Presidential Initiative on Youth Enterprise Clusters, I want to just say a little bit more on how that initiative tends to promises to address national unity. Right. So as we speak, more than 3,000 young people in Abia State have indicated interest in being part of light manufacturing industry cluster. What this means is, and these clusters were focusing on garment and leather goods value chain. So what this means, what we're trying to do is to create a link of a spirit, we're promoting a spirit of brotherhood by creating a link between the North and the South. So taking Abia State, for instance, which is largely Igbo speaking, and what I grew up hearing us Northerners call the Igbos is Inyamiri. So I envision in Nigeria where the Northerner will no longer see the Igbo man as an Inyamiri, but as a partner in progress, basically, because we want to create that link of where the cotton value chain we're developing in Katsina State can now supply the light manufacturing industry for garments in Abia State, and they will be able to build trust if they build businesses together. I want my Igbo brothers to take cotton from us in the North, and then the Igbo man shouldn't see us as the abokis, because they see us as the producers and suppliers of their cotton for their garments. So my brother in the Southeast can take it from me and pay me back later. That way we become partners in progress. So, and same goes for the leather value chain as well. So this is just a summary of what we hope to achieve with the Presidential Initiative on Youth Enterprise Clusters.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister for Youth Development. I can see the passion is there, and I pray that God will continue to help you more and more. Yeah. And now, as the chief host, I think the IGP have remarked for us, but sir, there is a silent question they say I should ask you. If I'm permitted, sir, can I climb? I won't be arrested. Thank you so much. So the Honorable, the Inspector General of Police will have a brief remark for us before we end the session of the panel, and then he approved that he's ready maybe to have one or two dance with the youth. I think the latest one, is it Go Go Gongo or something? So we are looking forward to see how he's going to carry his own day. Your food is, don't worry. We say to them. So thank you, sir. You have the floor. Your remarks to close the.
Okay, thank you very much. For me, having listened to the interventions from some other speakers on this side of the hall, as a journalist, we clearly understand the importance of engagements such as this. Information, communication, indeed play a huge role in diffusing tension in the polity. When we engage the young people who, of course, are the custodians of our future in this manner, it sure goes a long way in, like I said earlier on, clearing certain narratives that exist out there. No doubt, political actors would always latch on every opportunity to ply their trade. And that's exactly what is facing us as a people, especially at this critical time in our national life. One would agree that the situation is not the best that we should have. Is there hunger in the land? The answer is yes. Is there hardship in the land? The answer is also yes. That is why our political actors must create platforms like we are seeing here today, that the police is engaging with the young people. Different organizations are here. By the time people come here and listen to the presentation by the Inspector General of Police, it's a lot easier for people to believe in. And that is what our other leaders, political actors, must make themselves available. By the time leaders alienate themselves from the people, you begin to see certain issues fly left, right, and center. I'm also glad that the Inspector General of Police has committed to the fact that beyond here, this kind of engagement is also going to trickle down to the zones, because it's very, very important. People are not going to gather from across the 774 local government areas at once. But now that this is taking place at the city center, at the Federal Capital Territory, it's also important we cascade it to the south-south zone, take it to the southwest, take it to the southeast, take it to northeast, northwest, and of course this is north central. By the time we get more young people involved, they discuss with their leaders, ask questions. It helps build cohesion. It helps cement the unity that we desire mostly in our country. Very, very important. And lastly, this kind of engagement is not also such that should happen within a twinkle of an eye. It's something that we are going to create the forum where enough time is given. The young people would have enough latitude to vent if necessary. They say what bothers them, the way it is. And the leaders themselves also devote time to respond to some of these issues, some of these interventions. By the time we create this kind of platform, different places, I want to believe that we would have commenced the process of healing for our country, because that is what we desire mostly at this time. People are so worried. If you go to our airports, people are leaving the country in their numbers. That's not what we should encourage. But by the time we discuss, by the time we engage, by the time we exchange information, by the time we interface with each other, I want to believe that the narrative will begin to change for the better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was a good one.
Thank you very much. I will just write on what my brother, President of NUJ, has said. I would like to draw our attention to a few things. First, I understand that this is the first time that the Nigeria police is having this kind of forum or engagement, as the case may be. True or false? So that's a commendable thing, that something is changing. And I think we must appreciate that. Secondly, more than any government, at least in the last 24 years, this is the first time a president of the Federation is demonstrating his belief in the capacity of young people and giving them the opportunity to excel in one way or the other. True or false? Before now, we used to have a 58-year-old as Minister of Youth. True or false? Before, you don't want to answer again? Before now, well, the last one was 57, and I have the record. So the point I'm trying to make is that opportunities are now being given to Nigerian youth to occupy places of leadership. What they do with it is a different thing entirely. Therefore, my thinking is that what has started today should not end. And that's why I said I will have to continue from where my colleague stopped. The reality is that those in government might be saying, after all these things that we have done, how come it is not appreciated? But you see, the truth is that if I don't know that you are doing something for me, the tendency is that I will not appreciate what you're doing. Government must have a strategic way to engage with the people. We can't stress this enough. And when we say the people, we say the youth. When the first PRO was talking about is it Kofi Annan, and he said that the youth is about the present. I said no. The youth is about the past, the present, and the future. Because somebody who was 20 years yesterday has now become 20-something, and in future he becomes 40-something. Therefore, we must be deliberate in investing in the Nigerian youth as the leaders of today and leaders of tomorrow. And as I conclude, the issue for me as a communication person is that I have seen that we are not communicating enough to the Nigerian youth. And this is why I appreciate what is happening here. IG, I want to plead with you, sir. Let this not be a summit. Let this be a forum or a round table. And when it goes down to the other parts of the country, let it have the minister or the Ministry of Information as part of it. Let it have the minister or the Ministry of Youth as part of it. Let it also have all the other people that have information to give to the Nigerian youth. More importantly, please don't come in uniform. Come as Nigerians. Let us sit down together with these people to engage with them, to exchange views, and relax in a way that it's not a 2-hour thing. As Chris said, let them empty themselves. I've had the opportunity of engaging with the Nigerian youth at various levels. They are one of the best in the world. But they need to earn your trust. Once they earn your trust, they can follow you to any level. And I think these ones, Nigeria remains the best and Nigerian youth remain the best. But we haven't tapped from them. We must give them the opportunity to trust us as leaders, and they will follow. Thank you very much. And by the way,
the NIPR is offering to provide technical support free of charge anytime you are having this at no cost. We are prepared to do that, and we have the biggest body of knowledge to do that. Thank you, sir.
Your question, they are going to attend to because we are out of time. That's what we call the first pair. We say your meal bill. Huh? You are out of time.
Well, let me quickly clarify this. They are going to scroll our handles and email addresses on the screen. We can't exhaust all we have here. It's not possible. That is the truth. We have a time frame, and we're working within that. I think what we'll do if we have other questions, like others have been doing, I've received many here, and we're going to respond. All of them, the minister will respond to your I'm sure I'm going to have the email address of the ministry and others that are here. We are going to scroll all. We have been interacting. We can't exhaust all here today. It is not possible. So I want to urge all of us, particularly leaders of various groups that are here, to please forward your intervention or whatever you want to our email address and through all our social media handles. I think that's the best way we can go. Now, the IGP will please address us before we close this session. The IGP, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I thank all the panelists for the great contributions that they have made at this summit. I agree with everything that has been said here, but the option of not appearing in uniform in subsequent forum, we will look at it. I may not totally agree with that, because the Nigerian youth love our uniform. We advertised. We wanted to recruit 10,000. About 700,000 applied. So I believe that the Nigerian youth love our uniform. They would like us to appear in uniform. I want to thank everyone. I thank the youth, the great Nigerian youths who have come to participate in this summit. I thank you for your questions. There is something that is a take-home here. When we came up with the idea of this summit, we intended to use it to commemorate the International Youth Day. But with the contributions here in this summit, we now know that we need to engage more in dialogue. We will be taking this engagement to the geopolitical zones. We accept that we have challenges in Nigeria. The challenges are enormous, but they are not insurmountable. We just need the collaboration of everyone. We need the youth, we need the leaders, we need every one of us to be focused. I'd like to make reference to the story of China. China has made tremendous progress over the years, but there was a time that China was like us, struggling, going through hardship. There was the story of a Chairman Mao that emerged in China, and who told all the Chinese, let all Chinese go hungry until we are able to produce our own food. Let us all go naked until we are able to produce our own clothes. The Chinese went through hardship, serious hardship. But at the end of the day, they became great. They emerged strong. China today is a great nation. I believe that we are on our own journey to greatness. Tomorrow, a Shamama may come and tell us that this subsidy we are paying is going to impoverish us forever. Let us end subsidy. Subsidy is gone. Let us not come out and say that this is bad government. We must end this bad government. If we end the bad government, where are we transiting to? A worse government. I said in my, when I was answering one of the questions, that some people who came out mobilizing for the protest didn't mean well for Nigeria. What they wanted was to destabilize us and multiply our hardship. We must not fall to their antics. We must be careful next time. When they are calling us for protest, we must look at them very well. Do they really mean well, or they just wanted to use us as instruments to destabilize our own country? So let us be careful in just following people calling for protests and protests. Let us burn everywhere down. So we thank God. They didn't succeed this time, but we also know that they are not resting. They are going to come back again, and we have to be careful with them. So I thank you.
Can we please appreciate our panelists once again? Thank you so much. Thank you. So before they leave, cameraman, please, let's have a good photograph session here. The panelists, before they leave. Other MCs. The NYSC has a representation in a very peculiar way. And we're going to give them 3 minutes to do that. The NYSC. Shortcut.
Yes.
What do we have?
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we would like to specially thank you for your patience so far. It's been an amazing panel session. So even as the IG and other panelists go back to their seats, I would like us to appreciate them with a round of applause for attending to our questions, please. Thank you very much. For those of us asking for item 7, I'm happy to announce to you that that has been prepared. And
short course.
Yes.
Not be saying it's been prepared. I think the ushers can share the item 7 now.
Yes, to avoid
ushers, please start sharing now.
Please.
The IGP don't cast me for camera, so I have to perform.
So please, all the cameramen, please, can you go back to your previous position?
Please, can we create space? We're about to get brief entertainment from the NYSC cultural troupe.
Please, this special performance is for your relaxation. And don't forget, this is NYSC Youth Cultural Troupe.
Please, can we have the cultural troupe? Thank you. Please move back, move back. Let's make sure that our VIPs have a good view of the performance. All right. The NYSC cultural troupe, let's have you, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now go there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can assure you your balance is safe.
With all your heart.
And please, help us tell the lady that was dancing in front of the IG that he is happily married. I don't know what kind of dance was that. IG could not look because we are live, so.
Once again, please, can we give the NYSC Youth Cultural Troupe a round of applause?
All right.
Thank you.
A quick announcement. Please, if you are the owner of a 1994 Passat.
Yes.
Front bumper yellow, back bumper black, then the motor color ash. You have a sticker on the motor that says police is your friend. Please kindly rush outside. Your attention is needed. Your car just there on its own starts.
I beg, rush outside so that your car no go drive himself, go beg and go carry passengers.
I beg.
Face Gwagwalada. I beg.
That's just on a lighter note. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of persons coming up to the mic for goodwill messages. Not just to those of us sitting here, but also to the teeming Nigerian youths watching this program live. I would like to first of all invite here another amazing Nigerian, one that I respect so much. Help me make welcome the SSA to the President on Student Engagement, Honorable Sunday Asifon. Please, as he comes up stage, can we give him a round of applause?
Thank you so much. The Honorable Minister of Youth Development,
the host of this August occasion happening in August, the IGP himself, the chairman of Nigerian Police Commission. All other protocol is well and duly observed. Let me begin by appreciating Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who has appointed a very capacity and brilliant IGP who understand the nitty-gritty and the language of youth and students in this country. Today, the discussion is coming at a time that Nigerian youth, students, police, and the stakeholders of this country need to come together and work together to have a safe and secure Nigerian of our dream. And today, to my colleagues, my friends in the movement, the youth and students, we have a lot to do. This is our country. And again, I want to say this. In building a better Nigeria, in building a Nigerian of our dream, youth and students, you have a role to play. It is not police alone. It is not the president alone. It is all of us together. And let me also say this today. The president of this country, I stand here to say it loud and clear. I am a former zonal coordinator. I was coordinator of NANS when Jonathan was president in this country. I was a president of NANS when Buhari was president in this country. Today I stand before you as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement. I stand to appeal to you, my colleagues, that we should have more patience for this president. It meant well for us. With a couple of 1 year and 2 months in office, this president has done a human job. He has invested so much in education through TED Fund. And I stand to say here today that during electionary campaign of this president, he was making promises about student loan. Some of us were thinking it's just a mere political statement. Today, I stand before you that thousands of our students, Nigerians, who their parents could not afford their school fees, are now a beneficiary of the student loan. And I stand before you today to tell you that this president has committed a lot into youth circle. And I want to also tell you today, this is the only administration that have given space for youth, inclusive in governance. The president appointed not less than 6 ministers, that there are just 40, 30 in this country. It has never happened. And I also stand before you. Where I was standing, I have a friend of mine, a colleague, who is also an SSA to the president on ICT. Beside me there, the president have young, vibrant youths as SSA, SA in various fields. Today engagement, like I have said, the Nigerian youth and student, why I continue mentioning student,
is because when you look at the youth demography of this country, students take 75% population of the youth. And as such, we are very, very, very important. Someone was talking about how can we curb issue of courtesan in secondary school. When I came on board, I started a program called Security Dialogue in our tertiary institution. And as such, I've inaugurated a committee that will be combating courtesan, drug abuse among our youth and students in this country. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for this program. It's coming at a time that we need it. IGP, I want to advise and I want to appeal to you. This program going down to various states will be the best for our students and youth. If we give instruction to our commissioners of police, I'm sure they can discuss with our governors in our various states to have this. It will go down to the grassroots than the zonal. The zonal is not bad, but I think I cherish the various states having engagement with students and youth. Thank you and God bless you.
Special thanks to the SSA student engagement to the president. Moving on with the speed of light, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite to the microphone here representing the Ministry of Information. Help me make welcome the DG Voice of Nigeria. Sir, you're welcome.
The Inspector General of Police, the President and Commander-in-Chief, represented by Minister of Youth Development, the Inspector General of Police, let me use this opportunity to commend your courage in subjecting yourself, if you like, to public scrutiny. And I'm saying this being a reporter myself and being a reporter on the defense beat. It's not always common to find top security brass, particularly in our clan, to subject themselves to this kind of public scrutiny. I'd like to commend you, sir, for doing that. And this has been a major tradition, which I'm sure you are starting now as IG. But also to commend you, sir, and the way you led the police during the protest. This is on a personal note. The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation asked me to give you his goodwill and to commend you for what you are doing and to identify with you and by extension the entire Nigerian police force for organizing this very important event. I'd like to also use the opportunity to recognize our father, DIG Hashim. Good to see you again, sir, the Chairman, Police Service Commission. This event, the Honorable Minister considered it as a very important event because the youth remain the building block of our country. But it's also very important that we're talking about the youth and linking it to national security. The youth remain a major resource, and one of the resource persons talk about the place of youth in helping, particularly on the social media. But I think that it is much more than that. The youth can be used in intelligent gathering. They can be useful in supporting the national security cause. And that is why this event is very timely. Today, as we all know, as a nation and globally, we're in the age of what the experts call durable disorder. Many nations are facing challenges. And therefore, we know that identify risk are not just on the traditional media, but also in the social media space. Like the keynote speaker did say, and other speakers, it is important that for us to be able to solve our security challenge, we must harness the youthful potential of our country. We must align with the vision of President and Commander-in-Chief President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the opportunity that he has provided for Nigerian youth. But for the youth to also be available, they must be carried along in events like it's being carried out now in this event. The Honorable Minister has asked me to plead with the Nigerian youth and to urge them to please align with the vision of the President and Commander-in-Chief President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For us to understand that this is our country, we need to build it together, we need to work together and build a nation that we will all be proud of. As young Nigerians, we can all not jackpot to other countries. We need to join hands with the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in building a nation that all of us will be proud of. I'd like to commend again the Inspector General of Police for organizing this event, and I hope, like the IGP promised, he's going to cascade it down and ensure that this kind of engagement continue. And for you to take the advice of the former Vice Chancellor of LASU. The advice you gave him what was a Vice Chancellor, I'm sure is the time to take those advice. You cannot expect somebody to align with you if you don't engage with him. Now, the issues you have raised here, the Nigerian youth, are indeed our youth all over the world through the social media. We live with a new perspective about about Nigerian police. Because even if you don't say anything, IG, the fact that you sat here and subject yourself to public scrutiny, for me, that is even a major takeaway. Even if you don't say anything. And I think that this is a lesson for all public officials, particularly the top security brass. It's important that we put ourselves and be in the front line when it is necessary. You did the same thing during the protest. You didn't just lead from the background. At some point, you also addressed the nation, and then you left the job for the first PPRO to carry on from there. And I think this is very important. We're in the age of social media. No public official can afford to just leave the space. And one of the resource person did talk about it. The social media is a battle space. You can't afford to let the narrative to be shaped by people who don't mean well for our country. The anarchists, people who have interests that cannot align with our interests. And why it is important is that the social media is a space for gullible people. People are there to send messages that can just cause anarchy in a country. And therefore, we need to appropriate our Nigerian youth so that we can make them understand that building our nation is their own responsibility. And finally, I want to assure you on a personal note as Director General Voice of Nigeria, the Voice of Nigerian platform is available for Nigerian police and indeed other security agencies. We broadcast in 8 languages, 4 local languages, English, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and Fulfulde, 4 international languages, French, English, Arabic, and Swahili, and intend to expand that to Mandarin, Bahasa Indonesia, and Portuguese, considering our challenge as a country. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, special thanks to the DG, Voice of Nigeria. Moving on with the speed of light, the Forum of National Youth Leaders of Political Parties in Nigeria has their resolution handy and would like to make the presentation officially to the IG. We're trying to manage time, so most of our questions and submissions will be documented and presented in paper form, or better still, sent via email to the Nigerian police force. They have assured that it will be attended to. Thank you very much. All right. Coming to speak to us now is another very vibrant youth. He is the SSA to the President on ICT, Mr. Tokoni Peter Igion.
Yes, good day, everybody. Okay. Okay, the Inspector General of Police, the Minister for Youth Development, and permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I would want to give an appreciation to the Nigerian police so far for the last period of what just happened recently. We saw how Nigerian police made it look so calm. Why? Because of professionalism. And it's in my good faith that this is a program it's a sophisticated program that will ensure that it's always going to be coming up. And through innovations, we are partnering with the Nigerian police to see how we can advance ICT, to see that the youth in Nigeria are going to be collectively be involved. And right now, my office is even on a program that is training 2,000 digital skill sets to Nigerian youth. And the Mr. President has made it open that it's going to be young people that are going to be in offices, not just young people that are very interactive. And, you know, most of us, our scope of intellectuality has gone so versatile. And my colleague just left here, the SSA on student engagement, to see that he too is a young man. And so far, so good. The Honorable Minister, we've been seeing most of your jobs online. We've been seeing most of the job that she does of the Nigerian Youth Investment Funds. And so far, we've seen that there are a lot of applications. Most people on my office, in our capacity, we are trying as much as we can to push on publicity. So this is like a platform where we've pushed. So thank you very much, Ma. And thank you very much, the Inspector General and the police community, for all what you've been doing and for what you do so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, I would like to beg that every other speaker adheres strictly to the time allotted. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite to the microphone the convener, Nigerian National Youth Coalition, and the President, Yoruba Council Worldwide, Mr. Are Oladotun Hassan. You're welcome.
All protocol duly observed. I need to speak extempore. Special thanks to the Inspector General of Police for taking that bold step to addressing us and engaging us on this national dialogue through the consent and appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because without the President, we might not be able to have this conversation. Special thanks to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Our focal point as convener of Nigerian Youth Coalition, we believe that Nigeria comes first. And that is the essence of why we have listed some of our demands, which we want the Inspector General of Police to helping us to convey to Mr. President. And we know in the recent time, the Patriot just met with Mr. President some few days back. And one of the nucleus of our problem have not yet been discussed here today. Thankfully, Professor Larry Fagbon, who is my lecturer, was in LASU. I finished from Lagos University. I was a former NAS Lagos as the chairman, and presently Secretary MBA Lagos, we believe that there is need for us to engage our constitution. Without us critically analyzing this problem, we might not be able to get out of the woods. Our problems start and end with the Constitution. We have a section in the Constitution, which is the Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, which we believe if Mr. President is able to free that, that will add value. If Mr. President is able to grant the Nigerian Youth Rights Act, it will add value. If Mr. President is able to establish the National Joint Regional Security Network Agency, where volunteers can as well have roles to play, it will add value. It is in this light that we have summed all our demands, and I would like to present to the Inspector General of Police, while I want to call on all our youth stakeholders to join me, because this is our rightful demand. Because we want Mr. President to know that we love him. We don't have another president except him. And nobody can constitute us through the social media and telling us to go on a days of rage while his families are sleeping Eddie and Hardy in US in person of Omoyele Shore. I will be glad to mention, because we are not proud that that would have been done by a youth like us. We need this country. Kenya is suffering because nobody was able to engage. But we thank the IGP for holding ground on behalf of Mr. President to engage us. And we know today we're establishing one thing, that is the Police Youth Relations Committee. We want to work with you, Inspector General of Police. We want to be engaging, because this program, we want it to be a quarterly one. Having gone through the 6th geopolitical zone, we want to be assessing the level of our development. We have highlighted a whole lot of demands here, ranging from Youth Rights Act to the constitution of the National Youth Development Commission, to ensuring that all engaging in respect of our constitution, how to go about it, whereby we can all do it together. It is in this light that the Nigerian Youth Coalition is presenting the Nigerian First, because that is the only symbol we have. The Nigerian First hashtag. Without the Nigerian First, we cannot be anywhere. And we have this logo on your table by your IG, the minister. We want you to hold yours, and let's take this picture together. While my OIS Indigo leaders, where are you? Yes. We are all to present and hold the Nigerian Youth hashtag, which we want social media, all our leaders, the military, the police to hold this, and this is our symbol. And please, the letter, please, the document. We have highlighted all our demands here, and we know we will engage through the PPRO. We know that you will constitute and will inaugurate soonest that office of the police.
This is a live Channels Television event.